with Assets and Arbitrage. Today is Saturday. It's going to be the pilot of our Hip Hop Saturdays. So we just want to kind of try to play with different things and stuff, see how y'all like it, if you like it. If not, we'll figure something else out. But we always do little like bars and stuff, or sometimes hip hop themes, and we're never really sure if you guys get it or not. I know some of you guys are older than us, some of you guys are younger than us, some of you guys are around the same age.
Yep.
So it's a way for us to kind of get a more accurate idea and understanding of our demographics, but we will always pull it back around to Bitcoin mindsets, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, so like we always like to start the show, always be stacking, stacking, stacking. Your sats, your ounces, anything else you invest in, always be little by little, right? So, of course, everyone knows we had a great week in Bitcoin, wonderful week. Everybody's happy, right? All the Bitcoiners are happy. Great price movement. It is just
68,000.
yeah. I think that's when
It's
we checked
doing
this
like a
morning.
little dance between I'm gonna say 67 and 69,000 all
Hmm.
week.
Yeah, I drew a daily chart. It looks like it's coming into some kind of wedge. So we will see what happens.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, be stacking. Gold. The people who are in gold, they did well this week as
Yes.
well.
Hmm.
Gold and silver. Silver didn't move as much. Usually, silver kind of pulls up behind. But still, if you have silver, you are in great position. You're in great position. Silver is wealth. Gold is wealth. So those two also, we always, we're not financial advisors, but we always say that those are things that are good to have.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
And that you absolutely see a return on your investment. Silver and gold obviously have been God's money for over 6,000 years. I believe it will continue to be throughout whatever iteration it comes in.
Yeah.
So it is definitely something that the Simon household will always be trying to invest in.
Hmm.
Hi, Courtney. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, most definitely. So as she said, it's God's money, it's wealth. It keeps your purchasing power, right? We always say 1 ounce of silver should buy a man a fine suit.
Hmm.
So right now you're up there at 2,200, whatever.
Hmm.
It's been a while since I bought a fine suit, but I think that that will buy you a fine suit. And I'm talking about, talking about the joint tailored, fitted. You got your cufflinks and all that. You getting busy like that. But let's get into it. There's a few people in the room. We can get into it. And so she had mentioned something about having a hip hop kind of Saturday type of thing, and we talk about different, like she said, bars or songs and stuff like that. Oh, we got a phone call in the game, and so today we're gonna start. We're gonna start this series off with a friend of the show. His name's Cameron Giles, which you probably better know as Cameron, right? Good friend of the show. Shout out to Cameron. Uh, he had an album in 2000, and it was called SDE, Sports, Drugs, and Entertainment. So let's go in on this because this is maybe a higher level of pocket watching, right? And you experience this, and I'm talking to the black men out here because I think that this is probably more of a problem for us. No disrespect, but it's a problem that we have as you walk around. So now you're an investor. You have Bitcoin. You got your coins. You got your stuff. You're walking around. You're living a nice lifestyle, and for some reason, everybody thinks that you have to have gotten your money or your wealth or perceived wealth through either sports, drugs, or entertainment. And we experience this here a lot. And I just wanted to talk about it because people, I don't know if you guys out here globally, you'll experience it a lot globally because They want to know how you can live in their country and where you're getting your money from. And they'll ask different questions, and we have a problem with so we do a lot of sports and stuff, and people will ask our kids these questions.
Mm-hmm.
And then the kids come home and say, hey, this guy asked me, where you work, or how you get your money, and all this stuff. And then you have to go back and talk to these people and say, hey, don't be asking my 13-year-old son about how we make money. If you want to know, if you got questions, ask me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can tell you it's really none of your business, but I might give you some game,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so um, even entertainment, who do they think you are?
Amara La Negra.
There we go. She just outright asked her, "Are you her?"
Mm-hmm.
Because
Very
you
often when they see me
you got to be
speak
an
Spanish,
entertainer.
they think that I'm Amara La Negra from what you guys would know as Love and Hip Hop. But when Amara La Negra was a little girl, she was featured as a dancer
Hmm.
and a singer on a show called Sábado Gigante. And it was a variety show that used to come on Telemundo on Saturdays back in, I want to say the early 90s. So as I move around, a lot of them think that I'm Amara La Negra and
And she,
it's
when
ridiculous.
she go out, she look fabulous and got her shoe boots on, her high boots, these heels, and some red bottoms, all this stuff. Man, I can't keep up with the with the fashion. But she go out, she look fabulous. She got all her jewelry on. So we live in a very small town. People don't really put themselves together like that,
Mm-hmm.
But when she comes out, she's very put together, so it stands out. So they're gonna think, okay, she's some kind of entertainer or a singer or something like that. For me, it's more going to be the sports or drugs.
Mm-hmm.
For my son, yeah, it's more of an entertainer or sports for them because they look young. They might think they're a rapper or something. Just all this disrespectful shit, man. Like we can't just be people who earn a good living, who work hard. We can't do that. We can't be that.
You
So,
can't be business people. You
mm-mm.
cannot run businesses. You are not directors or senior managers. You are not in charge of anything. You either get your wealth from some type of illicit. It's never even the positive side of sports or entertainment, right? You're some type of hood rapper or you're some type of, you know what I mean? You're working with the cartel. There's a very negative light about the perception of wealth. Courtney Johnson said that she would like for us to do a show on what it takes to be the wealthiest in different parts of the world and
Okay.
those percentages.
The wealthiest and percentages, again, I believe it would be official. Okay. So you want to know about the percentages
Hmm.
of, did we do that? Did I do that? Did we
We've
do
done
that?
several shows on that.
Okay, I can run it back. I can run it back because the perception of wealth in the United States is
It's very skewed.
it's skewed because if you get out here in the world and you actually look at um, your wealth, and it's two different, it's two different things now. It's going to be your wealth and your income. Those are two different things as far as looking at around the world. But you could have a certain amount of wealth put away, and that gets you up in a certain category. And you can also have a certain amount of income that you make
Hmm.
that puts you in a certain category. So yeah, we can break that down because that's good to know. That's good to know. That's good for the arbitrage. If you have a certain amount of wealth and you have a certain amount of income, you can go different places and get that arbitrage.
Hmm.
Most definitely, and that's what the show was really about. It's not about being un-American and all this stuff that people try to say like, oh, well, you're not a patriot. No, no. I did my time in the military. I served in two war campaigns. Didn't you serve in two war campaigns?
Sure did.
So I'm a patriot. I
Hmm.
did my job. I did what I was supposed to do. And we're just looking for the arbitrage, and we wanted to raise our children and give them a better upbringing.
And go where we're treated best.
Go retreat it back. So yeah, we'll pop in and do a show on that real quick because that's good information.
It says MSNBC article said that $90,000 puts you in the top 10% of the world. I thought the number was smaller than that.
It moves because it keeps changing, but that's definitely right. Last time I checked, it was 88,000 or
Yeah, I thought it was
something like
smaller than
that.
that.
Top percentile in the world.
Hmm.
Now, are you saying, I can't remember now, are you saying income or just wealth? Because I cannot remember which was which because it was two different charts.
Now, I do know that there is a phenomena, a smaller, I'm call it the microcosm phenomena, where how it's tax season now, especially the ladies, if you go somewhere and you drop a considerable amount of capital down, somebody in the vicinity is going to make a comment about tax season. So even though Bitcoin's running, people are taking profits, which is why it's doing what I call bailamos con Bitcoin, which is we dance with Bitcoin. Um,
Consolidation,
they just
consolidation.
assume that if you're a black woman and you have a considerable amount of money on you, or you're paying for what's perceived as a luxury service, that you got your taxes back.
Yeah.
And that's not always necessarily the case, right? I know that they try to put that on black men, but a lot of black men can't, um, can't, what's the word I'm looking for? They can't
Tax
claim
return.
dependence. So they
Right.
don't have those large tax returns that the young ladies, the head of households, are able to claim.
Hmm.
I'm telling y'all right now, they changed that tax code this year. So people who were used to getting a tax return actually owed this year.
Yeah.
That was something to look at, that your current presidential administration changed the tax code and didn't say anything to anybody. People didn't find out about it until they went and filed their taxes. If you plugged your same W-2 in from last year, or whatever your tax return item was from last year, if you plug it in this year, the money you got back last year, you'll see that this year you owe. So they changed the tax code and didn't say anything. It was real nice.
But they slid it out there. We just people probably just missed it. But
I don't think they slid it out there.
I'll
I'm,
tell
I'm
you
on top of
what,
those things.
people in the chat room because she mentioned the presidential administration. I guess voting season's coming up soon.
Yeah.
Who in the chat room? Let us know, man. Who you got? Biden or
Or
Trump?
what the climate looks like
Yeah,
there. It looks like everybody, it looks
Biden or
like
Trump.
Trump is going to win by a landslide.
Let us know, Biden or Trump. You
A
don't have
lot
any
of the
options.
changes that he wants to incorporate that people are trying to demonize, I find myself looking at them like, well, what is wrong with that? With him wanting to, make this change or make that change. I was looking at Agenda, I want to say 47. And while some of it sounds slightly ridiculous, I get the point of what it is he's trying to do, and I think it would actually be good for, um, if nobody else, the everyday Joe bag of donuts. But the whole point of our show is for us to figure out ways to get the arbitrage in life, so it don't matter who the president is, don't matter who the governor is, don't matter who your senator is, don't matter where you go in the world and who's in charge of that political machine. We want to be able to figure out strategic, methodological ways that we can run our own domains,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't need that type of oversight. We don't need to, as soon as something devastating happens or there's a contraction in a market or multiple markets or a contraction in the economy, you're not like, well, what's the government going to do to help us? We don't want to live that like that anymore, right? We done with that. We want to live in a way where you are the king of your castle. You create your own economic climate through strategy, planning, preparation,
Yep.
knowledge, information, staying on top of those things. And economic winters and volatile economic climates do not affect your domain as it would the masses who don't really participate that way, don't really have control of their own economic climates, I'm going to call it. They don't really have control of their own households. They don't have control or discipline over the income that they bring into their house. So these are a lot of the mindsets that we want to shift away from. We
Mm-hmm.
want to shift into new perspective, new mindset, new information, and new ways to control our own economic climate.
Yeah.
Hi, Crypto Work. Crypto Work, not Crypto Work. KW1, thank you so much for joining. Malcolm Rex.
Dub.
It's not worth voting for any of them. That's what I'm saying. Whether you like them, love them, feeling different about them, Sometimes things they do may help, they may not help. But the whole point of our show is to really have a handle on your own economic climate. So it don't matter where you are in the world and who's in charge of that area of the world.
Yeah.
Courtney said the article you shared was from 2018. You shared it was 4,000 that put you in the top 50.
Yeah.
I believe if people knew that, it would change their thought process. I agree, Courtney, but believe it or not, why it doesn't change people's thought process is because in order for you to really take charge of your finances, that's a physical responsibility you absolutely have to take on, right? Yes, the thought of it, the mindset, hey, just identifying that, considering the income that I bring in or the wealth that I have collected, that I'm in this area of the top X percent of the wealthy in the world.
Yeah.
It's the discipline and the sacrifice people don't want to take on in order to 10x that, right? In order to continue building on it, in order to scale up. In business, you would call it economies of scale as you're scaling up. That takes an actual physical work. It takes constant analysis. It takes constant focus, refocus, view and review. It takes working it, unworking it, reworking it. And that is the responsibility of a lot of people. It's a lot of work in their mind for them to do it. It also means unlearning, unprogramming, relearning, reprogramming. And it's why the masses don't seem to want to, right? Consumption's easy. You also have to remember that the culture, right? All day long, we are being bombarded with, you guys remember The Matrix? Y'all remember when you watched the movie The Matrix, all those numbers and the letters, it's really the coding would keep falling down like rain all over the screen. That's a real thing, right? Those wavelengths, those frequencies are constantly bombarding you from the television to social media to your cell phone. Everywhere you go now is digital marketing. All of those wavelengths and frequencies are constantly bombarding you to consume, consume, consume. There is a constant wealth transfer, and that's what people don't understand.
Yeah.
Every moment of your day, there is a wealth transfer. And it's them, whoever they are, the elite, whoever, them trying to make sure they siphon off your wealth. We also did a show, Courtney, where we talked about 1% stealing $50 trillion with a T, right? From the 99%, because it's a constant bombardment of it. There's no moment of the day they are not trying to siphon off your wealth from you. If they cannot siphon the physical wealth off from you, they are trying to siphon your economic energy from you. So that's forcing you to work more hours to make a little bit less money.
Yeah, and we never really went in, but there's a thing, a theory I should call it, called time theft, by Robert Breedlove. If you guys are familiar with him, if you're not, go check him out. He got really good game. He's like a I would call him like a Bitcoin. What would you call him?
What?
Kind
Oh,
of like a
Bitcoin philosopher is what they
philosopher.
call
Yeah,
him.
Bitcoin philosopher. And so check out Robert Breedlove. Let me get it together. But he talks about time theft. And there's a chart. You can do overlay charts. So what you want to do is you overlay charts with the US dollar, and then you overlay that with the New York Stock Exchange. And you can see the different changes. And what it really shows you is how your salary is losing money against the New York Stock Exchange. And so for people who aren't invested in the New York Stock Exchange, they're stealing your time because
Right.
they're giving you less, even though you may think you get a raise, and it also goes into your raises, the CPI. They're lying to you on the CPI, right? What are
Every
they
day.
saying? 8%, 9%. It's probably well past 20%. So if you don't get a 20% raise, then you're losing money against time. And that's why I say you put your money into something that keeps it. Bitcoin, right? So if you, I mean, I'm saying put your whole paycheck in there, but whatever you got left over, put in there so that it doesn't lose value against time. And he's got a really great article about it. It's a long read. It take about 40 minutes, but it's a great article. And he talks about how they're stealing your time. and people don't even know it. You get a 5% raise at work, you're like, all right, yeah, I got a 5% raise.
But
But
the
it's not keeping up with
inflation
inflation.
and hyperinflation are close to 25-30%. So, kind of seeing what the game is. I think what we have to do, Courtney, and I'm not just talking to you, but because you had raised the great comment, what we have to do is we have to see reality for what it really is, right? And in seeing reality for what it really is, you want to start searching for the value in things. And that's where we get lost, right?
Okay.
We assume because Beyonce comes out with, and I'm just making this up, right? She's got this new cooler. It's the Louis Vuitton Beyonce Jay-Z model. It's worth $4,500, and every Joe Blow goes to buy it because Beyonce endorsed it. Where's the value really in that? And that's the problem we're having. They parade these puppets in front of us, right? And I'm going to call those puppets celebrities. I'm going to tell y'all. I saw a I saw an ad where Kim Kardashian had a Starbucks cup in her hand and she's walking down the street. However, while it's supposed to be a candid picture of her, the Starbucks placement is perfectly in her hand that as the cameraman takes the picture of her walking, you don't miss one part, one scene of the Starbucks logo is missing from the picture. Here's the thing though. The people who watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians were quick to come out and be like, everybody know that Kim don't even drink coffee, so what are y'all doing? Because the people who don't know, right? I don't watch Kim Kardashian. I don't know she drink coffee. That could be pumpkin spice. It could be iced mango, pineapple.
Yeah,
it could be
something of
anything in
those,
the
yeah.
cup, right? But the fact that that is what they do and they perceive that the market finds value in that, that's where we go wrong, right?
Definitely.
When we take our family legacy money and give it to legacy families, that's what they've been programming us to do all along,
All along.
right? When you look at banking, a lot of people don't know or realize that banking for a long time made the majority of their profit from overdraft fees.
Yes.
So they were profiting from exploiting your everyday Joe Schmo who was living paycheck to paycheck and well above their means. Well, they understood that if we can perpetuate a cycle of consumption to the point where the average Joe only finds value in themselves when they are consuming,
Okay.
and can advertise in a way that consumption to his neighbor, to his whoever he's competing with, right? Because unfortunately, humans as biological creatures are competitive in all environments.
Yes, keeping up with the
It's
Joneses.
a psychology.
Yeah,
That's what keeping up with the Joneses is.
Mhm.
But they only find value in themselves when they perceive that their peers find value in what they have or do, not necessarily in them.
Mhm.
This is where we have to kind of break those cycles,
Yeah.
right? Don't stop buying Louis Vuitton stuff. Louis Vuitton got money, his family got money from now into perpetuity, right? We don't need to say, oh, well, I got the new Louis bag. I took my tax return and did that with it instead of putting my tax return into something that is going to be impactful to my purchasing power in the future.
Yes.
Right? There's more value into having impact on your purchasing power than there is in showing off a trinket, an accoutrement that you have. And that's the culture that we need to break. And it's not just Black culture, right? White culture does it, Asian culture does it. Every culture does it if they can find a way to add value to themselves symbolically. That's what logos are all about. Symbolically, then that they were willing to spend whatever on that thing that looks like it's going to add to them symbolically. Every now and then you'll get the right mindset who understands if I can put that value inside of me, I'll do better. Hence, people who take leadership courses, who go to wealth seminars. I'm not talking about the scammy ones. I'm talking about the real mindset shift changing ones.
Shout out to my MLMers.
Yeah, but I'm talking like real, like you're sitting down, you're talking with the deca millionaires and stuff, and they're telling you how they think.
Yeah.
When you look at real millionaires, they do not wear logos. Y'all not paying them to wear the logos.
So, and she's right, because it's been a problem that they say, especially young black people, like to wear their wealth, right? So you see somebody with a gold chain, a gaudy gold chain. I guess I'm talking about a rapper. That would be more valuable if you took that gold and had it in a 5-ounce bar, 10-ounce bar.
Absolutely.
Because when you go to turn that in, you don't get the real price. You don't get spot price, because it's like you said, it's been what, depreciated.
It depreciates as soon as it leaves Jacob's jewelry store, and I'm being obnoxious now. It depreciates in value. You notice that women who have a significant amount of money, their jewelry doesn't look like that. Yeah. It's not custom piece like that. Two, here's the other important thing. When we talk about sports, drugs, and entertainment, they use sports, drugs, that drug culture, right? Because it permeates into entertainment and sports when you think about it, right?
They kind of mix.
In order to be that symbol to say you want to be like us and do what we do, right? When the people who are holding those strings, y'all know who they are. We don't have to say it. They don't do that.
Yeah, put in the comments if you know.
They don't do that, right? They don't dress like that. They don't speak like that. They don't perpetuate that type of culture onto their own people. They're very exclusive. They only do business with one another. Hence, for their own small economic climate, that dollar turns over, if not tens of thousands of times before it exits that particular market and goes into the mainstream market. Mm-hmm. Right? So when we start talking about making changes, we got to get to the root of the changes that need to be made.
Yeah, there are changes. Shout out to BK
Crypto. I'm glad BK Crypto's on.
All right, boom. You was a little late.
Family. We are here to support each other. That's also a part of the culture that they teach you not to do. They teach you not to support one another. They don't want to see us united. We are all content cousins.
Yeah, that's our content.
But those of you who absolutely want some crypto swag, BK Crypto got the swag for you. If you're interested in getting a shirt, a hoodie, he's got really great swag. If I'm not mistaken, I do think he can ship internationally, BK Crypto. You'll definitely have to confirm that for me. I think the most of the content cousins, though, are in the continental United States. Go ahead and hit the drop down and support your content cousin, right?
BK Crypto, I'd like a sleeveless hoodie.
So I love thinking about it.
Yeah, I love sleeveless hoodies. Because when the sun's out,
it's hot.
Guns are out. Oh, so I get my guns out.
BK Crypto, don't listen to him. Yeah, I know I tell you support your content cousin, but don't listen to him.
Yeah, man, my arms was looking like Thor, and never mind, I ain't gonna go there. But let me say something too, because I was gonna circle about the sports, drugs, and entertainment. Mm-hmm. So now drugs. Now as a black man in another country, they want to know, how can you live here? So here's what the culture here is in Mexico. Just Mexico, I can't speak for other places.
And in certain parts of Latin America, we can't speak to. But go ahead.
So these police out here, it's not like the police in the United States, okay? They're not unionized and all that stuff. They're not going to shoot you down. They're just going to shake you down and see if they get some money out of you. So if you have an SUV.
Already, that's an issue, because cars are expensive here to the average person. So if you have an SUV, they're going to pull you over.
So here's the thing. We have a couple SUVs, and I really don't drive anymore. I let our eldest son drive.
Our two oldest sons drive now. They do the majority of the driving, and we run a buddy system style. Yeah. So the two buddies sit up front, Sean and Reginald. Mom and dad are buddies. We sit in the back, and then the two little ones who are buddies, they sit in the third seating.
Right. So I don't drive. So I sit in the back, like she said. I'm rolling, so the last time we got pulled over by the police was the two lane street. I just looked at the police officer. He looked at me, and then Sean kept on driving. And as soon as he got in front, he
did the whoop, whoop. But he did the thing. Please pull over in
pull
Spanish.
Over. So here's the crazy part. Now they pull us over, and none of the police officers go to the
They never
driver.
approached Sean. They
They came right to my
to his
window.
window. Yes, they did.
So they're already looking like, oh, he must be something because he's got a driver. And so I get out the car so I could talk to him a little bit. But we know the police commissioner. So we hand him the police commissioner's car. I said, call him, see what's up. He called, boom, he came back. He was like, lo siento, lo siento, lo siento.
But that only made it more suspicious, though, right?
Yeah.
To be honest.
Then he went and opened my door for me.
Yeah, he opened the door. He said, have a great day. He ran around to open my door. But that only made him more suspicious.
But they
I
never
can see the look on his face.
But they never once went to the driver. And
they never talked to Sean.
And they pulled us over for nothing because we're just driving down the street slow. And so that's what I'm saying. They think you're part of a cartel. Why are you here? You sit in the back seat. You got a driver. You must be a jefe or something.
And they always look at your shoes. So that's weird.
They on top of my shoe game all the time. But they think I'm a jefe.
Yeah.
And so that's part of it.
They probably think I'm a Danya now that I'm thinking about it.
That's part of it. That's the drug part.
The average person here, and we're talking about mindsets, right? And that's all I work off. I do a lot of anthropological study, even though I don't have a degree in it or anything like that. But I study human behavior.
Yeah.
Where I live here, it's a very, what they will call tranquilo. For my people who speak Spanish, I'll understand tranquilo is tranquil, it's calm. The average person wears sweatpants, hoodies, right? We are in the mountains. It can get a little bit chilly in the morning, gets really, really hot, and then it gets chilly again. So, like, it's not like the United States where young ladies dress up and they got their makeup on, they got their nails done. So, unfortunately, I stick out like a sore thumb, but it's important that I put myself together like this. This is my uniform. This is Erin's uniform. If you call Erin 4 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday, she's dressed up and done up like this until she go to bed 10 o'clock at night, right? And that is because, one, it's a uniform. Two, I'm universally recognizable. No matter where I go, everybody know that that's Erin. Three, I am treated way better than other people, right? When I travel, I'm dressed up like this. I'm treated very well by stewards. I'm treated well by the airline staff. Very often, I get great offers to bump up my seating to first class. Like, I do that on purpose because I'm going to get a great discount. When we get to the desk, he just stands off to the side.
I'm really her really security. I should go on Amazon and get a shirt that says security, because that's really what I am. I'm making sure that she is being treated well.
But
right? Because she stand out.
Right.
There will be people, when I say people, I say men, who may want to say something, or
typically no, they typically treat me with respect, but they're always offering me something. So we'll get great discounts on first class, which he needs because he's very tall, and he needs that for his, for his leg room and stuff like that. We often get great discounts at the airport with the what's the rooms called, babe? The lounges, with the lounges.
Lounges is cold.
Right? They're like, we'll give you 50% off if you want to hang out in the lounge. Like, it never fails. And I noticed that a lot of people tell me, they say, hey, Erin, when I travel, I like to be comfortable. I get it. You want to be comfortable. But I'm going to tell you right now, they have a perception of you when you look comfortable. You tend to get searched more. They tend to give you a harder time. You guys know I'm back and forth with precious metals. I don't like to do that, but I am treated in a very special way. And again, I call it the favor of God, but I know it has a lot to do with, she must be some type of businesswoman or something like that. The way she carries herself, the way she's dressed, she's got the way her purse is, and so on and so forth, right? And not a legacy purse either, just the way I carry my stuff and stuff like that.
And conversely for me, I don't dress like her. I'm more dressed in a more sporty, athletic way. I got the Thor arms out.
I make him wear a collar shirt though when we travel, so he does do that.
I got my Thor arms out, and so people think, oh, he was in the NFL. They made up a rumor that I was in NFL
for a long time.
And I'm just like, that's the only way that we could have any kind of wealth. Is I was an athlete. They don't ask me, they just say, oh, that dude, they come and ask me for an autograph, right?
You're not capable of running a business. You're not capable of starting a business.
He said I should play for the Chicago Bears.
You paid for the Chicago Bears.
And I'm like, he wanted an
So
autograph.
that was a funny story. We were at the market and Simon stayed in the truck and I was approached by several police officers. And now I want to know what the hell is going on. And one of the police officers asked me in Spanish, is my husband with me? I said, yes, he is. What's going on? Like, ¿qué pasó? What happened?
Hey, what's up?
And they were like, we just want to know if we can get his autograph. So now I'm looking and I'm like, well, who do you think he is? I said, autograph? Like, for what? And they said, NFL, no? Which is NFL. And I'm like, I'm just giving them that look like, what are y'all talking about? They thought that they didn't have a name, but they thought that he was a player for the Chicago Bears. I don't know where that idea came from.
They probably thought I was Lance Briggs. Shout out to Lance Briggs.
What they thought.
If y'all know who he was.
Again, just kind of feeding into if they think you're somebody, right? If they think you're a Marla Negra from Love and Hip Hop Entertainment. They think he's whoever from the Chicago Bears sports. When we're rolling in the truck and we sit in the back seat and let our sons drive, it's probably cartel related. She's a Danya, he's a Don. So when you're traveling in the world, just understand that people do have respect for you as an American. They know you have money, but it's never as a Black person a positive perspective on that wealth. And that's one of the things we want to dial into. Now, Critwork, aka KW1, she made an excellent comment. It kind of piggybacks off of Courtney's earlier comment. Sports players and entertainers get all that luxury name brand stuff for free to dangle in front of your everyday Joe Schmo in order to buy. It's a great investment, right? They even sometimes get paid to wear it. That's why I tell you, your real billionaires, if you notice when Jay-Z started in the game, Jay-Z used to wear name brand this, name brand that, Rockefeller this, Gucci that, Christian Dior this. He used to drop names all the time. Now that he's a billionaire, who that on his shirt? I don't see any logos on any of his clothes, with the exception of his shoes, which are his own shoes, the S. Carters, right? When you look at Mark Zuckerberg and his wife, they wear plain t-shirts, plain jeans. I don't even know what type of shoes those are, right? Because there's no logo on it.
I can't even tell.
Gary Vee, shout out to Gary Vee. He's an entrepreneur. I really, really like him.
Yeah, Gary Vee,
he wants to be a Jets owner one day. God bless his soul.
Not the Jets.
He's not on the I can't afford it. He's on I'm gonna try to afford this until I die journey. But when you look at Gary Vee got on, that's a Walmart shirt as far as I'm concerned. They look like the shirts they got in Walmart with the different
little t-shirts.
That come in the little cubbies and stuff. You grab like 10 of them. They're probably like $10 each. Yeah. But when you start looking at your real millionaires, your deca millionaires, your almost billionaires, half a billionaires, they're not wearing none of this. And I'm talking about the ones whose valuation is accurate to the point where they could liquidate to have that, not where it's just paper.
Yeah, and
right, because those are two different. We talk about that all the time. Those are two different. Those who are tied heavily to corporate wealth, it's a whole different juncture, right? They're not allowed to say certain things. They can't do certain things. That's why you don't hear them say nothing about Bitcoin. Is why when people approach them about cryptocurrency and stuff, like, I don't know nothing, right?
Yeah, they don't know nothing, but they secretly.
And we see that though. We see that they're secretly hoarding it. We see how much BlackRock has. We see how much Fidelity has. You saw what Grayscale has. The U.S. government, which are your main perpetuators of demonizing Bitcoin, have 215,000.
You gotta tell me.
I want to say 200.
You have to fact check that one.
15,000 whole coins. I think I said it on a couple shows. I want my internet fact checkers fact check me, but I'm gonna look it up when we get off the show. They had just a little bit more than Grayscale, Fidelity, and BlackRock. So.
And also with the Bitcoin, because I talked about this on the show a long time ago. We did a show about pocket watching, right? And I used to wear Bitcoin T-shirts for the reason of trying to spark conversations and interest to different people. But what I
It
noticed is
backfired.
it backfired, and it's just people pocket watching you, saying, "Oh, you got bitcoins," and so now they know, and they see, "Oh, bitcoins is this amount of money." And a lot of people don't really know anything about Bitcoin. They don't know that you can buy it in satoshis. They just think you got to buy one coin. So you got coins, and they're just looking at you rich. They pocket watching.
They think they Chuck E. Cheese coins.
Yeah, so I'm like, what? So I stopped wearing the shirts. I did stop wearing them. So
Especially when we went to Mexico City, because
Yeah, I
that's
stopped
really
wearing
where
them.
we were trying to be a part of the Latin American Bitcoin crypto network. It's a little bit harder for us to do it because we don't look like them, and they typically don't trust, for good reason. They typically don't trust
For good
A, Americans, Europeans, but B, people who don't look like them, because they typically come here to exploit
Yeah, exploit.
their poverty. So we get it. But we did notice that the effect we were trying to have wearing Bitcoin swag and stuff in Mexico City in particular, they don't even know what it is here. They'll think that's a Bitcoin you're wearing on the shirt, and it's their own Aztec symbol.
Yeah, they know something.
Yeah, so we didn't get, and we get it, right? Because we're not amongst our own people here. We got to figure out a way to
I mean, and we linked up with
Lori
Lori
Bitcoin,
Bitcoin, who she has a great network in Mexico City
and she's doing a
and
hell of a
through
job
Latin America,
through Latin America.
and we try to link up with her from time to time, and just gets updates on what's going on here in this region because um, we don't have the same ability because we can't. There's certain, like say for example, certain exchanges that we can get on, they can't get on. A lot of people
Yes,
like to use
we have
what do you
access.
call
They
it?
don't have
A lot of people
access
use
to.
Cash App for their Bitcoin and stuff, but
They don't have that
you
here.
don't have Cash App here, so that's not an option for them. So there's different exchanges they have here. They have their own version of like a Fold card and those different kind of cards where you get
But
Bitcoin rewards. So we just tell them about the Bitcoin, but she's the expert where she can tell you where to go. This is the
exactly,
exchange, this,
yeah.
that.
And she has the
Mhm.
experience because she utilizes it.
Yeah.
One of the main challenges that they have here, I think President Bukele is doing a great job in
Yeah.
El Salvador. I always want to shout him out. But here in Mexico and in a lot of places in Latin America, their biggest hurdle is the unbanked. They don't even understand electronic banking, much less digital banking, right? The majority of places where we go here, and I'm going to answer your questions, you guys. I'm not missing y'all in the chat. Is a lot of places we go to are cash. They don't even have a square for you to, or what they call here in Mexico, they call it a terminal. They don't even have terminals. They don't know how to use a terminal. I can't tell you how many times, and we use the same 2 gas stations. We only got 4 of them in the little town we live in. And you bust out your debit card and they don't know what to do with it, right? They're looking at it like it's some type of witchcraft, and they don't know how to proceed in this business transaction. Now, the struggle we have is that the terminal they had died. I don't know why they can't get a new one, but for whatever the situation is, it died. So the terminal they have, as soon as we pulled up, they said this new terminal is not configured for dollars.
Yeah.
Meaning you didn't purchase the international plan through BBVA is what you're telling me. And I don't even know if they understand that part because it's just they're different plans that you purchase through the bank in order to pay the merchant fee. Anyway, to be a consultant in Latin America, I would love that would be my dream job to be a business consultant here.
Hey,
So we have to
I
pay
don't know
for all
about
of our
that.
gas through cash. Little things like that, those are huge hurdles. They're little things, but they're big, ginormous things. In a globally digitized world that's growing faster and faster and faster, those areas, large, huge geographical regions and boundaries, are going to get left behind if they don't figure out a way to join us in the 22nd century.
Yeah, and people don't realize. I mean, I was speaking Mexico. I'm speaking on Mexico only. People don't really realize how large of a country Mexico is.
It's ginormous.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I think 220 million. So it's not as big as the United States. But the thing is, they got a few large cities, and then everything else is rural. And like we said before, they don't really have suburbs. It's like
Right? It's
it's a
either
city
city or it's country.
It is.
There is no suburb. There's nothing in between it, right? We live in the country
country.
where we get water delivered for the entire house.
Yeah, so
Right. I do have indoor plumbing, y'all, but
so you have to
we have
take that.
cows, we have sheep,
You gotta
we
take
have goats
You might have
who
goats.
graze on
Did
our
it go?
property.
Do we have a ram? I thought we bought a ram.
Yeah, but he died. I mean, he was
No, he
old though.
didn't.
Yeah, he passed away.
I don't remember him.
And they breed
Nobody
him.
told him.
I guess I knew.
Nobody told me.
Tino
about
knows.
Oh, okay.
But they breed them, so that's where we got the little babies from, the
okay.
calves from.
I know he died.
They was
Yeah.
overworking him, breeding him, whatever he
Oh man,
Betsy they had in the thing, and that's the problem.
No, he was a buck.
Yeah.
Okay, well anyway, I forget where I was going with that, but yeah, you're out in the city, like dense populated areas, or you're just out rurally.
Where your neighbor is about a hectare away from you.
Yeah, so we don't have any neighbors anywhere near us.
We have one over here and then all the way up, but our neighbor for there is probably about 3-4 miles.
Yeah, you can't see
And we
him.
live on a mountain, under a mountain that is under a pyramid. So great experience, y'all. We're under a great ley line, which is why we can do all this thinking and strategy and planning. And that's why we tell you guys, travel outside of U.S. airspace.
And if we go shopping, like we like to shop on a daily basis, go fresh to the market.
We have to.
But if we went and just like put stuff in the freezer for like 3-4 days and just stayed home and didn't need to leave the house, we wouldn't even see no people.
No.
I've done it before. I don't see any people. Nobody walking their dog, nothing. It's just mountains and it's nice. It's a refreshing experience, especially if you're used to living in densely populated areas. You know, it also gives as she was talking about earlier with the vibration and
the ley line that we're under.
No, well, not the ley line, but the vibration. There's no people. Like you live in apartment buildings.
You can think.
Stacked, yeah, they're stacked on top of you. You know, it's not all that. There's no real egregor.
It's quiet.
It's quiet.
Right. It's not. Sometimes we get the loud music when they want to play.
Yeah. When they party, they party. It's coming. It's coming up. It's coming up.
Party season's coming next week. But I just want to run back to the whole point of the show with sports, drugs, and entertainment. We want to dismantle that whole paradigm, right? We want to dismantle the idea that you have money because you are either a professional athlete and they let you have money. And you always hear the professional athletes complaining that it's a big, huge, gigantic plantation. A drug dealer, which you're absolutely not, right? People ain't even doing drugs like that anymore, not Black people. And the entertainment, right? The entertainment that we have, that we consume as Black people is toxic as hell, right? When you start looking at other cultures, they do not feed their people that entertainment. TikTok in China is only for educational purposes. It is not the tomfoolery with a new stupid dance or a new stupid trend that comes out to distract you every New Moon Eve, right? Because that's just about every 28 days. So, you know, our show is about pulling out of the world, leave the world behind, come into your own domain. It takes a king to have dominion. That's why it's called kingdom. Right? A king has dominion over his own household. Whether you are a king or a queen, or you are a queen who is serving under a king, don't be ashamed to say that. That is God's way, right? You want to be able to create your own economic climate. You want to create your own culture. You don't let outside culture determine how you spend your money that you worked for, that you save, that you take profits from. Don't let the outside culture determine that. You determine that. You are the king or the queen of your own domain. You don't let a presidential candidate A, B, C, D, E, F, or G determine your economic climate and your economic future.
Right.
You determine that. Right? And once we start pulling down these strongholds, these thoughts, and we start making them obedient, you will see you'll have the up leveling that you've been waiting on. When you are willing to be committed and disciplined to your vision, to your plan, to your goal, write it down. Write it down and look at it every day. Say it to yourself, recite it to yourself. Go in the mirror, look at your reflection, and say your economic vision to yourself
Yeah.
every day and stick by it. You're going to get that up leveling you've been waiting for.
Yeah, and like she said, if you write it down, other ways, vision boards. People like to keep a
However you
vision
need to
board.
do it.
However you got to do it, just make sure you do it, and continue to stack, and even if you can only buy $10 worth of satoshis, just that's chopping wood.
But
Just get
ask
it.
yourself,
Let's get it.
right? Say, how can I get from whatever your Bitcoin inventory is now, right? Let that be specific. So look it up, write it down. How can I get from this number to become a whole coiner within the next 12 to 18 months or 12 to 24 months? Don't go past 24 months though,
Yeah.
right? You determine the period. Y'all like using the AI to play with avatars. Everybody got an avatar on Facebook. Everybody got avatars for this, that, and the third. Use AI for something constructive. Ask AI, put your question in there and say, AI, what are some methods? Please give me 50 solutions to becoming a whole coiner between now and 24 months from now, or 18 months from now. What are some things I can do to move towards being a whole coiner?
Yeah.
And let AI give you the 50 solutions and start trying to implement some or all of the solutions.
Yeah, like we talked about in the 12-week year.
In the 12-week year, yeah.
And then you chop it up.
You got a whole plan there.
For the people we just talked to, we're coming up on the 12-week year. This is year one. Will be April 1st. That we'll be going into the second year, right?
Yeah, and I keep hearing
people.
people saying, "Oh, Bitcoin 69,000. I can't afford that." You want to be the one to say, "How can I afford that? What are some things I can do to get closer to becoming a whole coiner in the next 12 months, in the next 15 months, in the next 18 months, in the next 24 months?" Right? AI give you 50 ideas that you can just start running with. You don't even need to use your own brain juice with it, right? I play with that little thing. I hope it's not a demon I'm talking to.
Pause.
I really do. But I do. When I use my brain juice and then I say, okay, AI, I do 20 solutions by myself. Then I take that same question, I plug it in, and I say, now you give me 50 solutions. And those extra 30 solutions typically are great ideas that Simon and I will sit down and start trying to figure out how we can implement. How can I get from this price point of income to this price point of income in the next 12 to 18 to 24 months? What are 50 things I can start looking at in order to get to the breakthrough that I've been waiting on, in order to get to the up leveling that I envision for myself? Not my family, I love you, not my husband, not my mother, right? How can I get to the vision that I have for me? What are some things I can do to help my legacy? Because my job is to help him in the legacy building. That's my job. Right? He has vision. I don't. I'm very honest about that with y'all. Y'all think I have these great innovative ideas. I don't. Now, what I do have is, like the earth, I am a full womb. What does that mean? Aaron, you're more than your body. No, I'm not. Physiologically, God designed me that whatever seed he puts into me, I need to grow something. Grow something. If it's a child, grow that. If it's his vision, grow that, bring it to fruition. If it's an idea he has, grow that, right? And these are the type of mindsets that we need to start taking on, right? Just like I'm a physical womb for his children, I am also a spiritual womb for his visions, for his ideas, for the things that are going to get us moving in the right direction. It's going to get our children moving in the right direction. It's going to get our grandchildren moving in the right direction. This is where it starts. And had our great-grandparents had that type of foresight, vision, forecast to determine their own economic climate, we would be decamillionaires by now.
Yeah, so we got to start it here with us. Start it right now with us and push it down the line. We teach our children that, and then our grandchildren will be taught that.
But it's also the breaking of generational curses. Yeah. One of our generational curses is superficiality. Yeah. Right? Black women, we tend to think that our value is in the names that we wear. My mother and my grandmother used to always talk about, I got this china plate and I got this silver.
Crazy stuff.
My mom's got real silver tableware, flatware. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And she's always telling me about it because she wants me to take care of it when she's gone and stuff like
Yeah, you
that.
gotta polish
And they
it
took
up.
value in all of that. And while there are things you can pass down that do have value, we want to add to that the mindset to gold.
Yeah, because that superficiality.
They would spend their last dime so that they can tell their girlfriend that they have 1,000-count Egyptian cotton sheets. Like, stop. Put that in a IRA or something. Stop it.
Yes. Oh, man.
Right? So we
my
want to
sheets.
break some of that generational mindset. If your family doesn't suffer from that, God bless you.
Yes.
Right? Simon and I are well aware of a lot of the generational curses. They can only do what they can do. They only did what they knew to do. We know better. Right? We spend time with the Most High. What are some things we need to be working on, Lord? Work on your superficiality. Done.
And superficiality, we're gonna do a show on that because I have a big.
It eats into your wealth.
I have a big problem because the perception on so-called blue-collar workers versus white-collar workers.
That. Yep. There's that.
Because that superficiality kind of like, well, you know, want to go say my daughter's son is a doctor and all this stuff. No, we're gonna get into it, man, because blue-collar workers run the world. And I'm gonna get into that, man. We're gonna go in hard and pause. I want the people to let me know if you're blue collars or whatever. We're gonna go in, man. They gotta respect the blue collar workers, man.
Courtney says something hilarious. I'm gonna get to your comment, Courtney, because you're cracking me up today. Phantom Beat said, "Hey everyone, Will 45, thank you so much for joining us."
What's up?
Crypto Hoops wants to know how long we've been in Bitcoin. So we've been in Bitcoin, more Bitcoin than crypto since 2013, 2014.
14.
That's
14,
when he was in there in 2014. I didn't really
boy.
get into it until about 2016, 2017.
I had to talk her into it. She's like, what is this?
I didn't know what it
and all
was,
this stuff.
y'all.
So I worked her into it. You know, I got her into it.
But that's what I just said. He put the seed in there and it grew, and it's a beautiful tree right now, y'all. But Crypto Hoops, just in case your follow-up question was going to be, because I didn't get to answer you right away. We've been here in Mexico since 2017. And we're going to talk about flag theory. We're going to do another show on that to follow up. Yeah. We are writing for you guys a life portfolio series. So everything that we talk about on the show is going to be condensed into what I like to call a manual that you will have in black and white. And the first of the series is going to be the expanded five flag theory. Okay, and where we talk about not one country should hold all of your intellectual property. It shouldn't hold your fund. It shouldn't hold all of your monetary wealth. Different parts of the world should hold these different aspects and areas for you. So we'll definitely do another show on that. Courtney, we're absolutely going to add the wealth into that of all of where in the world your wealth ranks. So we'll definitely add that in there. Crit works at Skechers, so I'm guessing.
Who's wearing Skechers?
What's his name from Facebook? The robot, yeah. Crit Work, aka KW1, doesn't wear her Bitcoin swag in public anymore. It had the opposite effect, right? And that's the anthropological study we're talking about. It had the opposite effect. We thought it was going to attract like minds or curious minds. We don't mind doing the what is Bitcoin here in Mexico, right? We get it if you didn't know what it was. I'm going to use to the best of my ability. I don't have technical Spanish yet. I'm working on it. But we were willing to engage as conversationally as possible. You know, to explain it to you, but it really had the opposite effect where people were kind of almost like, the non-coiners had like a non-coin snob way about them. Yeah. I don't know how to explain it. I said, wait, you being a snob to me? Phantom Beat, it says those rural areas here, and those rural areas is here, all the remittance payments, XRP is gonna hit quadrillions of dollars. Yes, and yes. Okay. Phantom Beat, you're absolutely correct. He said, my mom says hello. She loves us too. Thank you so much, Mommy. We hope to see you or visit you or meet you.
Phantom Beat should link up with the chief. Shout out to the chief.
Yeah, the Chief's real heavy in XRP and can give you the great forecasting for that phantom beat. Skeeter Magoo. You remember the rapper Magoo? That used to be with Timberland and
He died.
He died?
Yeah.
Magoo died?
Yeah.
Oh.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
he died.
It's Hip Hop Saturday, y'all, so we just trying to
I'm
catch
thinking
up.
about Mr. Magoo.
No. I'm thinking about Magoo the rapper.
Yeah, he passed.
Just buying sats is great. And again, y'all know that Isaiah Jackson, Bitcoin Zay from the Gentleman of Crypto Network, his book is coming out. Let me give y'all the update. It should be out by Juneteenth. We're going to keep you guys, they're having some trouble with some of the content in it because Zay is very honest. And they want him to take some of his honesty back a bit. Y'all know what that means, if you know Zay. So we're hoping that it comes out by Juneteenth. Zay has a whole chapter on 33 free ways you can earn sats.
Mm-hmm.
So we're definitely waiting for it. Zay also was going to give us some, what I like to call content snippets, where we can give you guys some great ideas that are going to be in this book, some content, things to think about, to work on, to work towards. And as soon as he gets that information to me, I'm definitely going to share it with Shah. So we definitely want to support our brother when his book comes out and purchase that.
Oh, yeah.
We want to support our content cousin, BK Crypto. Again, get some crypto swag. You don't have to wear it in public like Crypt Work and we don't anymore. But definitely bring it to the show, right? If you guys say, hey, Erin, I want to be on the show. I don't want to talk much, but I do want to be on the show with you guys. Go ahead and email me and say, I would like to be on the next show. I don't want to do a lot of talking, but I do want to show off the swag that I bought from BK Crypto. BK Crypto, we are hoping we can get you on the show. I'm working some things out. We've been really busy. But BK Crypto also has a crypto educational group. So Simon and I absolutely want to support that any way we can. We want to hear more about it. But I also want him to talk to his cousins here on the show and tell them about his educational group, because I think it would be beneficial to all.
Oh, most definitely.
So Courtney said AI told her to sell some plasma. Scratch that off. You don't have to do all 50 things, Courtney, right?
Don't do that. You can sell plasma and flip it to Bitcoin. I have to do the.
But you get a lot of money for plasma, and I think that's what AI is. AI is a robot. There's no feeling there. It's like, sell some plasma, go buy some sats, girl. Don't do that.
Oh, man.
Do the other 49 things. Don't do that. But like I said, it's a tool for you to use, to plan, to look at. There's some solutions. And you have to determine what solutions are
that's hilarious.
viable and work for you, and which one the robots want to destroy us with. So you decide. Let freedom ring. Hey, family. Thank you so much for joining. Wall Street Pickers. The U.S. dollar has lost 87% of its purchasing power since 71. Yep. I think that number's bigger, though.
No, he's right.
So what was the 99% thing?
That's since from the act back in 1912.
Oh, going back. Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay, so he's saying from this point on, it's 87%. I got you. So thank you so much, Wall Street Pickers, for tilting my crown.
And that's a big thing about time theft. Mm-hmm. Losing 80% of your value. So if you just was saving dollars in the bank or just saving them in a shoebox or put them under your mattress,
you only have, what, $13 left?
Right, you lost 87% of the value of the money that you
out of
$100.
Right,
and it's just like, that's
terrible.
Crazy, man. People don't understand that. That's why I say put your money somewhere where you can at least keep purchasing power. That's why precious metals at least keeps your purchasing power and then more. And Bitcoin is optimum because it's always gonna go up.
They said since January, Bitcoin has was it 45%?
It was 45% before the run.
Before the run. This is before the run.
It was 40 because we did it on the show.
Yeah, we did it right before it started running again.
45% since January.
That's
1st.
Outperformed every asset ever invented.
Right. Apple, what do you want? You got FANG stocks or something. They're not performing like that.
Yeah.
But if you just keep your dollars like people like to keep them, and I know your mom, my mom, they like to
keep it in they
keep
in the house.
At home.
They old biddies. My mom keep hers, right?
Yeah. They keep cash at the crib. So that's like, well, Put it in Bitcoin.
Old ladies, they like to keep it in their bosom. So Wall Street Pickers said definitely invest in digital assets before you lose your retirement funds and future dreams. Wall Street Pickers, thank you so much for joining
you,
us.
sir.
Thank you for
Thank you,
tilting my
thank you.
crown. I realize it's from 1971, not from the Fed.
The Fed.
Timadon, I hope I said your name right. Thank you so much for joining. Timadon said deep. Crypto Hoops said nice. Probably an answer. Yep, there you go. How long y'all been in Mexico? I knew that was going to come down the pipe, so I answered that already. Crypto Burgers said, rest in peace. 7 años.
7 años.
Sí, 7 años.
October.
Sí. Rest in peace to all the people, family, and friends I spent time teaching blockchain to and trying to help teach. While Bitcoin is an excellent long-term play, but they didn't listen. Crypto Burger, that is hilarious, actually, right? I thought somebody died. I'm reading it like, who passed away? So, yes, rest in peace to those who didn't listen to Crypto Burger. Purchase in peace is really what we should tell them, because that inflation is running away.
It's crazy, and we can see it because we go from dollars to pesos, so we have to be very vigilant on the dollar to peso ratio, and then also if we were taking profits, we have to look at the Bitcoin to Mexican peso ratio.
Let's look at
and
it.
not the USD.
Even though I look at both though.
We go through the USD. We have to then, what do you say? We then have to spend in the Mexican peso. So that's really what we're looking at.
So you guys would probably be tickled pink. So the Bitcoin right now, the USD is $68,507 as of 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, March 9th. Today is the day Biggie died. It's also my 2-year anniversary at my main gig.
Rest in peace to the God.
To BIG. But the Bitcoin to Mexican peso ratio is $1,150,901. So it's 1.1 million.
1.1 million. And so we have to watch that.
So while we're not millionaires in the United States yet.
Are we? I don't know.
Not yet.
I don't keep count no more.
Keep count. Not yet, because I got my goals, y'all. But like Courtney said, we're millionaires in a different part of the world, and it is the world we live in. So goal accomplished. Yay, Black family. Let's give ourselves a round of applause.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right? I've been doing these 70-cent press-on nails. I ain't got my nails done in years, y'all.
So, like she said earlier in the show about the article that you shared, even though it's from 2018, about $4,000. Yeah,
that was Courtney.
So the number probably went up a little bit because they didn't put out a new article. I was looking for a newer one.
I think she's saying that they just put out Courtney, didn't they? Are you telling us that they just put out a new article, or are you waiting for the new article?
Yeah, because
I believe she said they just put out a new article.
Because the number moved,
it's 90,000.
90,000 on the income side.
We're gonna have to get Courtney to.
And then on the wealth side, like you just got $4,000, and you top 50 percentile.
Yeah. We'll have to get Courtney to
maybe 90,000 was wealth. I don't know if it was the income or the wealth. Probably wealth. And you don't really need. But
Courtney,
in America,
love, if you're still on, please clarify for us if the article A is new and B if it's 90,000 in wealth or in income.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's.
Because they do the income indexes too, so we don't want to be confused.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's probably 90,000 in wealth.
Let Freedom Ring said, "Congrats, yay!" I want to be a U.S. dollar millionaire though. Let Freedom Ring.
You're probably getting close.
That's the goal.
I don't know.
That's the goal. When you have 4 children, the chances of each child having 4 children is probably a trillion to 1. But we treat it like that. We treat it like we had 4. Each of them are going to have 4. Those 4 are going to have 4, and that exponential. Right. What was once a family of 2 is now a family of 16. You know what I mean?
And did we talk about this? We still was talking about sports, drugs, and entertainment. Did we talk about Reginald and his girlfriend?
No, don't put them on blast like that.
No, because that shit gets under my skin. And so our middle son, he's 16. He's like a basketball prodigy. That's what they tell me.
They got the recruiters and stuff looking at him for overseas.
He out here getting busy on the court, man. And
however,
However,
sports.
he got a little girlfriend, and that's fine. And then we don't even care. We're very
Beautiful
nice to
girl,
her.
very beautiful girl. She's very sweet. She's very nice, but her family isn't feeling us.
She's
Her
not. She
mother
know.
and father are not
They're
feeling us.
asking too many questions about how we can be here.
They want to know where our wealth comes from. They want to know why we've left the United States. They want a lot of information that A, is none of their business. B, if I started to explain the businesses that we run, I'm not being obnoxious, but I am. Like, could you comprehend what it is that I do every day?
I will say this.
Probably not.
I will say this because I have 4 sons. I don't have any daughters, so I respect the fact
That they would be so
that he's protective of his
right.
daughter. I
Right.
respect
Right.
that.
I agree with
I
that.
respect that part of it. But come talk to me.
But the problem
Come
is,
talk to man to man.
when Black people excel at something, there's always some side-eyed, half-ass comment to go along with it. Think about, what's the track girl's name?
Oh, it went with oh man, I can't remember, from LSU.
No, not Angel from LSU, but her too. But the girl who run track, she got the remember that day she threw her wig off because it was bothering her?
Yeah, she went from LSU.
Oh, she's LSU too?
Yeah, she went to LSU.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, cats down there, they
Yeah, Reno said he's young and the relationship ain't even all serious for that, right? Because Sean's girlfriend family ain't asking none of those questions, and she's a grown ass woman who live on her own, right? They ain't even asking those questions.
Yeah, no problem.
But when we excel at stuff, when they see that you're eloquent in speech, they see you have your stuff together, you dress well, you take pride in your appearance, you have a nice vehicle, and we're not driving around in an Escalade or nothing like that. It's just a regular SUV. They feel like it's criminal, like there's some criminal element to it, like you can't have an honest day's work.
And an extra level to it that doesn't have to really do with, I guess, and it is that you come out here to these little places, man. Look, and I'm being real. I might have had too much tequila. You got these little flat booty girls out here. So when she go out, she got her booty out and everything.
He drank too much tequila, y'all. We're going.
The guys looking, so I gotta be like, hey. Don't be looking at my wife like that.
But
and when I come out with my Thor arms,
okay.
Throw out Thor arms. I've been working.
Y'all don't listen to him. Shikari, thank you, Will 45. Shikari, I couldn't remember. Shikari Richardson. Yeah. Right? Y'all remember when she lost that one race and the whole world turned against her, and then she started winning again, and the world was back with her.
She lost to the Jamaicans, remember?
Yeah.
That one lady.
It's like when you're excellent at something, it never comes with full goodness. I remember Michael Phelps. That is a weed head if I ever saw one. But because he can swim, everybody is like for him, right? Don't nobody call him a weed head or nothing like that. They had all of that smoke for that little Sha'Carri Richardson, and she's excellent. Simone Biles, she's excellent. Again, though, this is all sports, right? And that's who they highlight. Unfortunately, they don't highlight Black businesswomen. They don't highlight Black businesswomen with fantastical mindsets. Yeah. They're gonna highlight the people that they want to have that narrative for. That if you're excellent, you're in sports or you're in entertainment. Do y'all know Sexy Red got rapper of the year?
Come on.
Sexy Red got rapper of the year.
Come on. What about Nasir Jones?
No, but for the denigration of toddlers, they gave you an award.
That's crazy.
Right, that's not excellence.
Let me.
I highlight excellence in the sports arena. I'm not going to highlight it in the entertainment arena because it is the denigration of our community, and they give you awards for it.
It is. That's terrible. And who gave the award? Who gave the award? I should say.
I don't know who gives that award. Who gives the award to rapper? It's got to be Billboard.
Billboard or something?
It's got to be Billboard. They're the only ones who can give you, or the Grammys, but it wasn't the Grammys.
It wasn't Grammys.
Because I remember Jay-Z went up there on his rant about his wife never getting album of the year. So I'm not sure who got that.
Albums? I ain't even going to go there. Let me ask you guys a question. No, not ask a question.
Courtney said you got to keep them Thors in check.
The what?
Your Thor arms.
Listen.
They don't highlight our genius. No, they don't.
Come on. And I'm not trying to bang on you Black women because I love you. But when she's talking about business, it can't be MLM type stuff, right?
But it always is.
But we got to move a little bit away from that and have some real business excellence like she does. She has business excellence.
And I don't ask y'all for a dime.
She has business
I ask y'all
excellence.
to support each other.
There's
I
too
don't
many
even ask y'all
people.
to support
There's
us.
so many people working for Prime America saying I'm some kind of financial advisor or sell insurance and these things. With like, not that. We're talking about business. Like, we handling business out here.
And as y'all content cousin, y'all see how hard I go to advertise y'all, to celebrate y'all when you have something.
Yeah.
If you bring it across my email and I start looking into it, I'm like, oh, I like how this sounds.
Mhm.
I told you I went on BK Crypto's website. Go on there. You sitting there, you can listen to us. You don't need, we're not doing anything that you need to see. Go on the website while we're sitting here talking to you. Look at his swag. We are going to celebrate you guys. We are going to encourage you guys to support one another. We want you guys to support Isaiah Jackson in his book. It is for us. It's written by us. It is for us. And it's for our moving towards excellence. I don't ask you guys to give us any money. I don't sell y'all anything. We do have a book coming out. We kind of thought it would benefit you guys, not even like for the sales or anything, but
It'll be all right.
you know, a lot of times when we come to each other with an agenda.
Mhm.
That drives me crazy, right? I like to know that we as a community support one another without an agenda. BK Crypto is not paying us to advertise this swag. We are not expecting anything in return. We want you guys to support one another. Isaiah, same thing. That's our homeboy. We believe in what you're doing. We believe in your content. We're going to push your content as a resource, not because we're getting something under the table for it. And we have to start doing that as a community, doing for one another without reciprocation, right?
Reciprocation.
We are Zoe Williams. Shout out to the great Zoe Williams.
Shout out to Zoe, big homie,
He is,
friend of the show.
if you guys, he is our elder in our community, even though he's not that much older than us, but his soul is way older than ours, right? And he's got the
Wisdom.
he's got the wisdom, thank you, and the experience that makes his soul so much older and wiser.
Yeah, we often speak to people like Zoe and Bitcoin.
But I want to make a
offline.
point about this. Zoe often talks about the Black community being sheerly transactional.
Transactional.
Where you would only do something for somebody if there's something in it for you.
Yeah.
Right? We don't get paid to do this show. We're on the Gentlemen of Cryptos Network. When y'all give super chats and stuff like that, you see every now and then somebody give a super chat. We don't get none of that. They go right to the Gentlemen of Crypto Network. We give you guys this wisdom. We study it. We live it. And then we give it to you. We ain't even regurgitating something we heard somebody else say.
Nah, we've been in the game for a minute. And also, like she said, when you talk about being transactional, that is a level, if you want it to be more metaphysical, of desperation, right? So that's desperation. I can't do anything
and
for
divisiveness.
You. I can't do anything for you unless you give me some
unless
money.
You do something for me.
Or give me something.
Or give me something.
Like, you know, we ain't asking for no money and stuff like that. We just giving of our time so that people can have a different purview and
But two, it's something that we always say we're scientists, right? I'm not making that up. Do I have a degree? He does have a degree in science. He does. I do not. I still consider myself a scientist.
Did you guys know I was in Spanish Honor Society?
Y'all, stop listening to him. I'm about to mute your mic. I wish I had a mic to mute.
I was, though.
He got the worst Spanish in the house. Tino got better Spanish than him.
I was a Spanish Honor Society.
I'm his unpaid translator. But we don't come to you guys with anything that we ourselves have not tried and tested and saw success. Did we see failure before we saw success? And a lot of the stuff we tell y'all we did, we had to tweak it, and go back and learn and write down what did we do wrong. I'm not about to tell you to formulate a problem into the form of a question and then come up with 20 to 50 solutions. And I don't sit down and do that every single day. There's no way I'm gonna tell you to do that because I read it somewhere and then I don't do it. And the problem is in our community, we have too many of those charlatans who regurgitate information. They want clicks because they get paid for watch time. Y'all know how YouTube works. If you get X number of views, X number of hours, YouTube will send you a check. So we're just kind of telling you, we're not patting ourselves on the back. We're just telling you, as a community, we are working to be some of the change that we wish we would see.
Right.
Right? Support your content cousins. Right? You buying one shirt for $30, $40 is no big deal, but he's building an educational crypto group.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure a lot of that, and I can't speak to your business operations, BK Crypto, but a lot of that is going to go towards that, right? He's building something in order to leave legacy for someone, for someone's, for multiple people, for groups of people who look like you and I. Simon and I, we have what I like to call disposable funds in order to make this free for y'all. Right? We get up at 3:30, 3:45 every morning. We go to bed at 10, 10:30, so that when we go on live and we start talking about things we can do to find dominion in our own household, to create the economic climate we want to see in our own household. That comes from blood, sweat, tears, effort, sacrifice, but it comes from a real place. It is not regurgitation of information at any point in time. And I know y'all can see the proof is in our pudding. If I didn't say anything else to you, you would be like, when that woman talks, I believe what she and her husband are saying.
Yeah, and like we
see
say,
it, I can feel it.
And when we catch something, we always cite our source and say, yo, so and so put us on to this game, check them out. Like we always gonna, and put, give our source.
Absolutely.
Respect,
We always cite our source.
Yeah.
We're not out here trying to be the smartest person in the room.
Nah,
right? At no time. I tell you, Zay taught me this, and Zoe, we talk about Zoe Williams all the time.
Yeah, Zoe, man,
because
homie,
he's a Black philosopher, and no, not to mince my words, but that would be the best way to. He has studied relationships. He has studied
he's a
people.
relationship expert.
He has studied.
He's probably an anthropologist.
To study the relationship behavior, the behaviors of trauma and stuff like that. He's one of the greatest scientists I ever knew. Shout out to Zoe Williams. I probably need to tell him that.
Zoe Williams, I'm gonna email you.
To tell you, you're one of the greatest scientists we ever knew, right? Yeah. But when I talk about a transactional society, because he was the one who kind of made it click in my mind, transactional communities is what I should say. Yeah. Where the man and the woman is always in a transactional relationship. Unless you can do something for me, I ain't doing nothing for you.
Well, no, because let's break it down to what it is. If you take me out to eat, I expect some sex. That's the transaction. Right, and that's what without
you got 12 kids, you got more sex than you could have ever had in your whole life.
Without mincing words, that's what the transaction is.
But it's divisive, and you see they're really pushing that rhetoric. Why is that divisive? Because our community, like I said, wasn't designed for transactional. It was designed on sacrifice, and it's what people don't. You don't want to sacrifice something and know that there's a potential that you won't get something in return.
Yeah.
Right? When I met him and he met me, this was before social media, right? This is like, he can't send me a text message. He got to knock on my dorm room door and talk to me, right? And vice versa. I got to knock on his dorm room door. This is military, not college. In order to talk to him, we had to take a chance on one another. And we had to pour into the other without the expectation of reciprocation, right? And that's how we were able to build the family that we've come to know, love, and be proud of. Yeah. I told you, he has a seed. If he puts that seed in me, and I'm not trying to be crass or anything like that, we're not even talking about children, I'm talking about an idea. Y'all saw Inception. An idea, a vision, a mission, right? Because I'm also very military minded. So he know if he wants to get me to do something, he knows how to package it up, right? Just like you would know how to plant a garden. He knows how to package it up and plant it in his garden.
And not that I don't help with it, but
you're the facilitator of it, but I am the soil that has to kind of get it going.
And when you
So I don't want you to feel like I'm taking credit for your visions, your missions.
No,
That's
not
not where I'm
that.
going with it.
But I'm just saying, if you have relationships, use each other's strengths.
You leverage the strength
Leverage
against the
strengths.
weakness.
Yeah. So she has certain strengths of things that
That
she
he
can do that
leverages.
I can't do.
And vice versa.
And vice versa. So that's how she's saying moving forward. If you know, hey, I can do this well, and you do this well, then you do that. I'll
I
do
know
this, and we'll make it come together.
that I can move about the world a lot easier than he
Yeah,
can.
they can.
So his idea is, Aaron, I'm going to make you the face of the brand. That way, when we need to get certain things done, they'll get done with no problem. He is the brains of the operation. Ladies, y'all save y'all emails, right? Don't even email me about nothing I'm about to say, okay? Just don't. I'm not an independent woman. I don't want to hear the independent woman remarks. I am not one, okay? I need my husband. My husband needs me. That's how we roll. That's it, that, in the end. I'm going to delete your email. I ain't going to answer you back. But
I'll answer you.
right? Like when we travel, I know when I look a certain way, we gonna get a discount or get something free. He just stands off to the side. He don't try to take control of the situation. He doesn't compete with me. Well, I should be the face of the brand too. I know that when I put my wife in front, these are the results and outcomes we're gonna get. I know when it's time to do real business, talk real numbers, put capital on the line, I push him to the front.
Yeah, leveraging,
right?
Definitely leveraging.
I know that when my husband sit down in front of somebody and they're talking capital, they're talking business, they're talking returns, he's going to be able to pick up a lot quicker than I am. If there's value in it, if there's a return in it, or if there's some type of tomfoolery coming along with it, right? I don't compete with him for that. I'm not, well, I'm smarter than you and I can pick up on that. We don't do that. Erin sits and she's quiet. She's silent. Just like when the face of the brand is gone before the airlines or, you know, if we're doing business with somebody, a lot of the networking things. As y'all can see, I do the lion's share to talking on here. Even though this is his show, this is his baby. He knows that I'm going to take what we have going on and package it up in a way that y'all are going to find to be easy to, and when I say consume, because it's content, you are consuming it, but you're going to consume it in a nutritional way.
Yeah, and she's prettier than me, so the people want to hear from you. So I come in and say what I got to say, but the people want to hear from you. They want to hear from a pretty young lady.
So why are we bringing that up? We're bringing that up because if there are partnerships that are trying to build in this crypto space, that are trying to leverage wealth from them to you, right? You have to work together and it can't be transactional. There are some things that God requires you, the most high, the most holy one, right? Yahuwah, him. Just in case people are like, well, what God are you talking about? There are some times when he requires you to serve and not be served. That's who he was. When he came, he was the King of Kings. He's the Lord of Lords. He's the King of all. He did not come to be served. He came to serve. And he expects that of us in a lot of different cases. Yeah. In order to be blessed, you first have to do the blessing. So,
that's what's up.
You know, when we encourage you guys to support one another, if you guys are running businesses, if you have ideas, if you have dreams, if you have visions, and you just want to spitball it, whiteboard it, corkboard it, post-it pad it, email us. We are here to support you. We are here to get the network to help support you. We don't ask for any money. We ain't trying to be like, yeah, you know, we'll push your swag if you pay us 25% or whatever anybody buy. We're not here for none of that.
And for the people here also, we spent some time with Bitcoin Zay, and he was looking. He is actively looking for more content creators.
Yes.
So if you guys have some ideas on shows you would like to do,
and if you want to ask us first, like, hey, I just want to run this by you. What do you think? If you just want to run it by somebody, just email us and we'll get on a FaceTime call.
Yeah, he wants some content creators, some different shows, some some innovative shows, because everybody can't just do Bitcoin news. You gotta do some different things. I know he mentioned he wanted somebody to do Bitcoin and like cooking. So while you're cooking, talking about Bitcoin.
Yeah, we were trying to get Grizz because he used to have a show called Grilling with Grizz. The Chief. What is he on here? The Chief? The Chief. We call him Grizz. I call him Grizz. But right now he's working on cigars and crypto. So
Cigars
if
and
there's
crypto.
any of you who cook,
Yeah,
we're trying to talk our sons into doing it.
Yeah, just cooking and talking about crypto. It don't have to be
Or
nothing.
come up with something different.
Something different, yeah.
Right? We can't do the strip club with the nice shoes because it's supposed to be family friendly network. But
who's gonna do that?
You just never know. Somebody might have like a crypto
Who's gonna do
OnlyFans
that?
or something like that.
Oh, not a crypto. Look, God.
You never know. I mean, it's it's learn crypto and get an eye full all at the same time.
Oh,
You just
boy.
never know.
Hey, I thought that was Rodney.
Rodney, Bitcoin, Rodney, ain't he in prison?
Gee, I don't even know.
Yeah, no, they brought him up on federal charges.
Oh, I don't know where he
Big
is.
federal charges.
And
Yeah.
y'all let us know, man. I don't know. Let's hit the chat room, see what they talking
Oh,
about.
last thing, BK Crypto said you said it so well. But we got your back, BK Crypto. You know we do.
They got some other ones.
Baby, I read them. Oh, Timadon said, this is his show. Y'all be going off on here. I'll be on every video.
Oh, dude, who said that?
Timadon. I hope I'm saying your name right. But we always say names with like the black vibe. Y'all remember that Key and Peele? When he was calling like Jay Quellen, like everybody's name had like a black vibe to it. So I'm calling him Timadon. Cause that sounds like
He got a D nice.
Yeah, instead of Denise, right?
She fought him on it, then she just gave up.
But don't Timadon sound like, remember when they did the college football?
Oh yeah, yeah. Key and Peele was our
and
show.
And then Jaquarius Williams.
Yeah, that was
Hezekiah Leviticus. Hezekiah Leviticus Walker.
Remember he got mad? What was the dude he got mad at?
He got mad at I could see his face. He had the glasses, the curly hair. His name was
And then he got mad at Aaron. He's like,
and he sent him to Principal O'Shawn Hennessy. That's what he sent but I couldn't remember his name.
It should have been O'Shaughnessy.
It's Sean, but he's the O'Shag Hennessy, like the drink.
But remember when he practiced the clipboard?
Okay, BK Crypto, we got you. We definitely want to do, because I want to hear about the crypto network and how we can kind of do an economies of scale for it, get you scaled out and stuff like that.
Also,
that's gonna bother me because I know I can see his face in my mind.
We're in Mexico. We know people, so we can do things down here too.
And we're also advertising your swag with some of our outside crypto people, BK Crypto, because I want people to start supporting that, especially if it is going towards educating the community in crypto. Just getting a part of the community we don't have access to. And that's what we should all be doing, right? Supporting that person who has access to people that you don't have access to in your network of people. And that's why we support one another, because the vision is bigger than the little bit of transactional equity you going to get from it. And that's the part that people miss. Right? They cut their little nose off despite their whole entire face. That's also a phenomenon we experience here in Mexico quite often. People will try to... So 10 pesos is a marker of... It would be equivalent to I'm going to say maybe the $50 bill now, but let's say the $20 bill. Right? How $20 bill was like that benchmark measurement of money. So the 10 pesos is like that here. They will sacrifice future transactions with them for just 10 pesos. They'll try to sneak 10 pesos out of you, steal it, lie to you about it, gringo you in price.
Yes, they will.
Right? And sacrifice future transactions. And people don't understand that they do that in life all the time. You have in relationships, you have a guy, he's a square, but he's going to take care of you. He is going to work for you. He is going to care for you when you're sick. He's going to give you the best bedside treatment when you're on bed rest carrying his child. Versus the guy who's got some money now. Yeah, he's going to take you out to eat, and he got a little bit of dough, but he also got 6 other girlfriends that he got to spread that money across. And if you're willing to compete with them, cool, but most women don't want to. So they sacrifice a life of stability and quality for just a few dollars, for a few free meals at a nice restaurant, for a free trip somewhere. You done blew up your whole situation for this one transactional thing. And this is also what the culture seems to be teaching women and grooming women to do and to want and to desire. And I have a huge problem with it. I have a huge problem with it. I don't see the men do it in those terms as much, but maybe they are. Maybe they are sacrificing that woman they can build a life with for the big booty BBL that don't even smell that great, right? I don't know if that's what's happening. But we want to come out of these cultural programmings because the programmings are designed to be divisive. They want him to live in his house. They want me to live in my house. They want his money to flow from his house through the court system, who gets some money from it, into my house, back into the economy. And people don't even realize that that's what the real trick bag is.
It's a trick bag.
That the money is flowing through multiple parties back into the economy. Whereas when we're together as a unified force, as one family, we are protecting that wealth from going back out into the economy. Yeah. They don't like that because they know when you're a solidified, unified force, that is exactly what you're going to do. You're going to protect it, that legacy money from going out.
So like she was saying, we form like Voltron.
Right. And you keep those crevices tight. You keep those, they used to call it a chink in your armor, right? Yeah. You're making sure the armor don't have any chinks in it, and it keeps the wealth from flowing back into.
And for my people out there in the chat room, if you know about Voltron, tell us about it. Form like Voltron. The jizz is the head. If you feel that, we form like Voltron. I guess she would say, I'm the head.
Yes.
And then,
and then the rest of us form, I'd probably be your feet, if anything else. And the boys would form the chest. But biblically, like Christ says we are the body of Christ, right? Each member is the body. Is the thumb more important than the knee? No. We all form together this unified field in order to fight against evil. That's what we're supposed to be doing as the body of Christ. So however you want to look at it, however analogy you need to figure it out, those things are there for us to protect us against the outside forces. So somebody asked, it was Let Freedom Ring, is there a growing Bitcoin economy in Mexico? Absolutely. So the way Bitcoin is what I would call the
expert?
No, I want to call her she is definitely the expert, but she would be like the force that's really pushing it in Mexico City, right? You're asking for all of Mexico. I can only speak to Mexico City, but she has connects. I can't remember the guy's name. I want to say it's Paco. Remember Paco?
Yeah, Paco, yeah.
And he is southern Mexico, right? Yeah. The south parts of the country.
They do
and they all form together.
And they do a podcast together, so definitely.
Yes.
And then she does a podcast with a woman named Catalina.
Catalina?
And she's from Argentina.
Yeah.
So they're
like Latam, right? Yeah. So Latin America. So absolutely, is it growing as fast as we wish it is? Just like in the US, we do wish there was a lot more adoption. But again, we told you that a lot of the hurdles that we have here in Mexico to grow the Bitcoin adoption economy is that they don't understand digital banking yet because they don't even do banking, right? Not even like a debit card, not an ATM card, right? A lot of them are unbanked.
And then the people who may be banked are still what you would call check to check. Mm-hmm. So it's not a lot to put away towards Bitcoin. You just got to pay your bills.
And they don't trust the digital system.
Yeah. Now, the one thing that is working with Bitcoin is the what do you call the payments called?
The remittances?
Remitting payments. That works.
But even that should be taking on more adoption.
It's not taking on as much, but it
has taken on some adoption, so they have saved.
And they got the President Bukele is really getting things going on in El Salvador, so it'll be game theory.
It'll start catching here.
It'll catch. It's game theory. It'll catch on.
Especially during election seasons. It's not the election season here in Mexico yet, but once you see the election season comes, then everybody gonna start talking.
And I gotta get this
technological evidence,
because I don't want this to be a political show, but we gotta get some younger leaders of nation states. Okay, I mean, the leader of Mexico, this nation state, is an old man. No disrespect to old men, but
yes,
he's an old man.
Just like our nation state.
We need more we need younger people taking over who have ideas. Like that's why El Salvador can move along like that because they have a young leader of the nation state.
A young, innovative leader who is
Yeah.
not afraid to take.
Tired of these old.
But I'm going to say he's not afraid. He's not
Same.
afraid of reputation, right? They're calling him a dictator. They're
That's the
demonizing
thing.
him.
They call him a
That
dictator.
don't bother him.
They're calling dictator. They're talking about fascism and all this stuff down there in El Salvador. We went there. We spent a good amount of time. Maybe we need to go back.
Do you know they haven't had a homicide in like 3 months? What country can say they're in the black because Bitcoin is on their run? I think they're the only nation who's financially in the black and not in the red. Even the United States is in the red.
I can't call that, but I know he's got it on the books, right? And he made it.
No, they're in the black.
But I'm saying, he made it tender. Yeah.
But that's why they're in the black,
Mm-hmm.
right? So his GDP, his debt to income ratio for the country and everything, that's all in the black. I think Texas, the state in the United States, is in the black, but the rest of the countries around it. The rest of the states around it, so the country on a whole is not in the black, especially with all the money that we're offshore.
And if you guys go back and look at the voting and see how much he won by.
Oh,
it was a landslide.
Who did he run against?
Man, we don't even know, but I think it was 90% to 10%, right?
So Let Freedom Ring said that Arizona just proposed a bill to make Bitcoin legal, although he doesn't think that it'll pass. I doubt it too. Because the problem is in the United States, and this is Aaron talking, right? I don't have anything to quantify or qualify what I'm about to say.
Okay.
So this is coming right from here. In order for a state to make Bitcoin legal tender and game theory take place, it would have to be a state like New York State. It would have to be like California. It has to be one of those like forerunning states. DC.
I disagree, but
what state outside of them states you think could make it legal tender and then game theory take place?
Because game theory takes place when the people who you wouldn't expect to do it.
So you're saying like if Iowa did it?
Well, Wyoming already did it.
And game theory didn't take place.
Right down to Arizona, he just
but
said
if it don't pass in Arizona,
but it's still there. It's still there.
Okay.
It's them little places like El Salvador. They're like, oh, hey, because those big places like, oh, we got to catch up.
Hi, Black Peridot. Thank you for joining. Yep, I agree with that. Okay, I could smoke a bag of that.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. Because the little places do it, and then the big places be like, hey, what's going on over here? And then they want to get involved. Mexico's going to have to get involved because El Salvador did it.
They definitely do, because what's going to happen is El Salvador is going to surpass them in development, right? Everybody saw El Salvador as a third world country, and it's important. We live in a global society now, so we need to know what's going on in the other countries, right? They also fed you a narrative that if it ain't going on here in the United States, it's not worth knowing. It is. You need to be a global ready leader in your own house, regardless if you plan on traveling the world or not.
Yeah, get your passports together. Get your passports together. A lot of people we speak to don't have passports. Get a passport. Okay?
And they make it a little bit difficult for that reason, because there's a freedom in it.
If you have the opportunity, get a second passport.
Yeah. I've been dragging my feet on that though, y'all.
Get a second passport. But get a passport so you can be ready to go where you need to go to handle business. When you need to get there.
Yep. Especially as the world starts to turn in the United States. Y'all remember that soap opera, The World Turns?
That's
what's
world
happening.
turns.
Yes. Listen, I watch a guy since Ramadan said that he loved the church and Bitcoin. I'm gonna give you a little bit more church. There's a gentleman named Chuck Messler.
Yeah, Chuck Messler.
If you are into Bible study, write this name down, Chuck Messler, okay? He was by nature an engineer, just like Lynn Alden. And he was able to break the Bible down scientifically, geographically, historically, culturally, etymology. But there was something he used to always say that really, really, really got us to thinking when we decided to leave the U.S. The United States is way past its time in judgment, right? At some point in time, every country does come into its judgment. And the United States likely deserves a double portion of that judgment, right? So as you're watching, y'all saw AT&T went down. 2 weeks later, Facebook went down for a few hours. Leave the World Behind already showed you what is to come. They have something called revelation of the method. And these Satanists believe that if they tell you up front what they are going to do, how they're going to do it, and who they're going to do it to, they can cleanse their karma or prevent karma judgment from coming to them because they told you what they were going to do and the world was in silent agreement with it when we go and we consume that content, the movie, the song, whatever, whatever, whatever.
And what she's saying is, as far as what we're talking about, conversely, you will see that with the dollar.
Mhm.
The dollar is gonna, as judgment comes, judgment will come
And Let
upon
Freedom
the dollar.
Ring says that I believe Bitcoin is going to be the center of judgment. We believe, and this is Aaron and Simon now, we're not speaking for anybody else. We believe, based on a lot of the attributes of Bitcoin, that Bitcoin is some sort of divine tool that has always been here, and that Satoshi Nakamoto discovered it, right? It has a lot of attributes of God, its immutability, its optimal scarcity. It has a lot of parallels to gold, which you know is God's, the most holy one, right? The holy one, the only holy one, that one, right? Yahuwah. We believe that if gold is Yahuwah's money, if that is the refinement that he speaks of, if that's what he's building his city upon, that Bitcoin and its digital optimization of gold also has some type of divine quality to it, which is when you say it's the center of that judgment, I believe you. And I believe it's here to account for the corruption in the promissory notes we call US dollars.
Fiat currency.
Right? Because you understand that a promise is one to be kept. Right? Let your yeses be yeses, let your nos be nos. Paul told you that. Paul in the New Testament said, let your yeses be yeses, let your nos be nos. Don't lie. Right? So we have a promissory note, and the promissory note says that I should be able to exchange this for whatever the amount is in gold. And we stopped doing that a long time ago.
But we stopped doing it. It was supposed to be not permanent.
Not permanent, but then it went to zero, right? First it was supposed to be partial, and then it was total, and then it was supposed to be temporary, and it's been permanent too.
Well, yeah, so it's temporary. So it's temporary for over, what, 50 years?
Yeah.
But
And this promissory note, it's a promise, but when you think about it, it's an empty promise. And what's an empty promise? An empty promise is an outright lie, right? And God talks about the enemy and how there is no truth in him. So the people who run the printing press are printing lies, and they're handing it to you, and they want you to build your value on these lies. People kill themselves over these lies. They prostitute themselves based on these lies. I can go on and on and on about how the enemy has us in a tailspin over this promissory note, which has no promise in it.
It has none in it, and I can't remember the number. So maybe you guys can fact check me. But it costs the same amount of money to print a $1 bill
That it
as
does
a
$100 bill or $1,000 bill or $50,000. If they had $1 million bill, it costs just as much to print the $1 as it would that $1 million bill, right? So we're looking at the emptiness and the promises that they keep trying to almost vomit in our lap.
Yeah, every day.
Right? Every day of the week. 2, they promise you that if you trade this amount of your time, which is the most precious commodity, this is the agreement, if you give me 1 hour of your time, that 1 hour of your time based on your skill set, how you appear, your perception of things, yada, 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 that whole little matrix rubric, right? I will pay you X amount of dollars based on that 1 hour. And that money is supposed to be what we used to call a livelihood, right? Meaning there's life in it. Now they want you to work 2 hours for the 1 hour you used to be promised. And
Yeah.
when you get just that 1 hour of pay and you go out into the world in order to support your livelihood, your life, groceries, electricity, water, what else do we pay for?
Rent, car.
Car insurance, mortgage payment, that's your shelter, right? You're paying more for less.
And that's where time theft comes in, because she
There's a
just
theft
said.
here. And what's thievery? There's a lie in it. Some which way, shape, or form. We've lied to you in some which way, shape, or form. And we are going to continue to lie to you. So what is Bitcoin designed to do? And that's why I said there's more to Bitcoin intrinsically that people need to look into, right? What commodity on the stock market, for you market experts, have a similar, not even the same, a similar performance to Bitcoin in its history?
It's history from 2009.
Nada. There's nothing, right? The only thing that can kind of sort of compare to it may be silver and gold, because it's one of the commodities that have been around the longest.
And oil.
And oil, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
so we have that.
Right?
That's oil.
But still have not performed like Bitcoin has performed.
No.
We tell you there is an intrinsic freedom that comes with Bitcoin, right? In that intrinsic freedom, there's a truth there, right? We have what's called a blockchain and the ledger. And you cannot lie to us about the transactions that happen on this ledger that we can all sit back and see. And they hate that. There is no under the table dealing in Bitcoin. There's no backdoor dealing. There's no good old boy network dealing. The only thing they can do at this point is hoard as much of it as possible and hold on to it till they can figure out a way to manipulate the system.
Yep, that's what they did with silver.
Right? So, the blockchain ledger is designed there in order to give us transparency, but really truth. Right? In the coming and going. They said that if anybody ever saw movement in Satoshi Nakamoto's wallet,
Oh, that'd be crazy.
it would be a black swan event.
That's a black
right?
swan event. Like, what
But just understand that. Can you see the movement in Jamie Dimon's checking account or his money marketing account? No, you cannot. You can't see where he's moving his money. Even when we buy precious metals, there's some of that movement, and Andy Sheckman told you, some of that's unreported. Megatons of gold, unreported, moving from one country to another, completely unreported. How, Sway? How?
Yeah. And we got to get Andy back on here. I'm working on it.
We'll see. He's been really busy. It's been crazy. Gold's at an all-time high. The precious metals are coming off the shelves. Y'all, our other counterpart communities are buying the precious metals because they understand its value. We are the only ones who are not taught that silver and gold have value. And then you want to ask, we go to church every Sunday, we read that Bible, they talk about the 10 talents. Did y'all know that a talent of silver is 75 pounds of silver?
Here we go. That's always
so when Jesus talked about the 10 talents and buried it, and you didn't get a return on the investment, you were evil for just being too lazy to figure out what to do with it. He was onto something about the laziness of his children. My children perish because they have a lack of vision. They don't know where they're going. They don't know how to get there. They don't know what road to take. And that's what's going on in our community. That's why we say this show is all about being prepared and committed and willing to sacrifice to get the up-leveling that you deserve.
Yes, it is.
And the information's free.
It's free.
All you have to pay is attention.
Free. That's it. Read the comments. I can't see in that look.
Let freedom ring. Oh, wait, let me go up.
You gotta roll up.
Oh, yeah, y'all been in here just chit-chatting. I've been running my mouth.
Yeah.
Black Paradise. Maya Angelou said, when they tell you who they are, believe them. Yes, honey. She told you that because she had to deal with them all the time.
Yeah, she said that.
Black Paradise is saying we need to read the Electric Cosmic. So remind me to look that up. Pay attention to the problem with airplanes. Tell me a little bit more about that, Black Paradise. What problem with airplanes?
I don't like airplanes, so yeah, tell me.
Let freedom ring. You're explaining it perfectly. Courtney's back. Give us some information and or links for Bitcoin and God. I don't have any links. That's the thing. If people are scared to talk about God, Courtney, I'm telling you about my meditations. You know, Bitcoin's immutable. One of the attributes of God is immutability.
Immutability.
Okay. You know that in the Bible, when God talks about gold, he talks about the refinement of it. And he is the refiner of that gold. And that's what gives gold its value, both spiritually and physically. And here's something you guys may or may not know. I don't have a link for it, but ask the Holy One yourself, right? We all have access. It says, go before the throne of grace with confidence and boldness. Ask him yourself.
They say.
Gold, and for those of you who've read Proverbs, understand that gold and wisdom tend to go hand in hand, right? Gold is the physical manifestation of wisdom. What does that mean, Aaron? Notice, right, that when you don't know how to do something, you exchange, because remember, the dollar is supposed to be backed by gold. Gold was the commodity. They used silver because it was more divisible. So we're going to take you on a history ride, right? So when you say, well, silver was really the currency of the day, yes, because silver is more divisible than gold. Only the kings had gold. The regular people had silver because it was a more divisible way of carrying out transactions because of the lack of wealth in those days, right?
The gentleman had silver.
Okay. So with that being said, whenever you don't know how to do something, you pay someone for their professional
Knowledge,
which
Yes.
is wisdom, because wisdom is the application
Right.
of knowledge
Simple
and or
thing.
information.
If you have a problem with your
Plumbing, you pay a plumber. That's
pay
why
a
they're
plumber.
so expensive. You are paying for his ability to apply his knowledge and information in plumbing to fix your stinky problem in your home. If you don't know something, you pay tuition in school, right? You are paying a professor who's a professional teacher. That's where professor comes from. You're exchanging that gold for their ability to apply that wisdom and knowledge for you to be able to do whatever you need to do. So gold has always been meant to be the physical manifestation of wisdom. It was God's way of teaching you a spiritual concept using natural physical things.
Okay, so and
So we want to take it to the next layer of Bitcoin.
so, but before we go to the next layer of Bitcoin, you know, for my non-flat earthers, where did gold come from?
Well, if you don't believe in the dome and you don't believe
My
the way,
non-flat earthers.
you know, Psalm 119, verse 1,
That's what they say.
then they say gold comes from the stars. And so does silver, because silver is like a byproduct.
Right, so it comes from a supernova, right?
Yeah.
Supernova, boom,
Explodes
yeah,
and
it's here.
There we go. That's what they say, right?
That's what they say.
Biblically, I don't know where it really comes from, but it's God's way of giving you a very spiritual concept using a natural, tangible thing. So now let's move on to Bitcoin, Courtney. And I hope I don't have anything to quantify or qualify what I'm saying, right? This is just me and my meditations, right? And it feels legit to me. If somebody is out here who can correct me, please do. But if you read your Bible, you do understand that wisdom and gold go hand in hand. So Bitcoin, which is the optimization of gold, and it's okay, baby. Wisdom. I'm sorry. Bitcoin is the optimization of that wisdom, and it came at a time of technology. Now, some people think that this time we live in, where technology is advanced, don't understand that we've had iteration after iteration after iteration where we were technologically advanced. If you believe in Atlantis, if you believe in, is it Lemurus? Am I saying that right?
You may be saying it like that.
Egypt, how the pyramids are made, like some stuff that happened like in the 1700s, those big colossal castles and stuff. How did you build that stuff without? Did y'all have electricity? There's a lot of people coming out saying, yeah, electricity, they used to be able to formulate it in the ether. They used to be able to absorb it from the ether. And what they've done is they've taken these grounding things to stop that so that they could capitalize electricity. But I don't want to get too off track.
So what they want to say is, I just want to slide this in here.
The Bitcoin, yeah.
About Bitcoin and gold, since you mentioned it, right? So they will tell you that Bitcoin is the digital version of gold, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gold 2.0. And when you see in your normal life the analog version and then the digital version, the digital version is always superior to the analog version. So what they're saying is gold is the analog version and Bitcoin is the digital version. And you always see that.
So consider like the phone we used to have where you used to do this. I don't know how old some of you are, but you used to stick your finger in the hole in order to call the person, right?
Pause.
To your smartphone, which can do everything in your hand. Same thing. Now, if you want to take it to a third level, you can say that Bitcoin is the spiritual version of gold. Right? You have the physical and the spiritual. You got the physical body that you can feel, touch, slap, pinch, and then you have your spiritual body. When your physical body dies, your spiritual body leaves it. It doesn't die because we know the first law of thermodynamics tells us that energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transferred.
Thank you.
God tells us that in the Bible, right? That you shall have life everlasting. Bitcoin, to me, Courtney, and I don't have anything to quantify or qualify it, but based on its immutability, that ledger where it's in truth all the time, they said the Holy Spirit is the spirit of truth and leads you to all truth. Bitcoin has a ledger where you cannot lie, you cannot manipulate it, right? Everything's on this very transparent ledger, that truth, right? I feel like Bitcoin is the spiritual version of gold. And it does have divine aspects to it, which is why the world, the worldly part of the world, hates it.
Yep.
It's also designed for the meek. The word of God says the meek shall inherit the earth. If Bitcoin was not designed for the meek, I don't know who it was designed for. Because you can see that the wealthy people, while they feel like they can get wealthy off of it, they have a weird aversion to it.
They sure do.
They have like a hate for it, but they're like, I gotta get involved for the FOMO, right? There's a fear I have of missing out on it.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna hoard it so that your Johnny, your Joe Bag of Donuts doesn't have access to it. We cannot allow them to catch their breath. We can't allow them to get that wealth transfer, or else we can no longer be in control of them, because it does come with an intrinsic value of freedom.
Yeah, and you guys know, you listen to Max Kaiser, he give you the game on this stuff. Man. It's really interesting if you listen to him. I'm gonna go through these comments a little bit. People saying some stuff.
Oh, so Black Paradox was just trying to say that your personal devices are soft targets. Your phone, your computer, your iPad, all of your devices listen to everything you say and do. They sell that data to data mining corporations. They are trying to hack the human mind so that they can further control you. That's what the Neuralinks are all about. Yeah. That's what those things are, where you can take pictures with your eyes. You can run back situations. You can see what somebody's doing through their eyes in another country. They want to be able to hack the human body so that they can control it, not to give you any, we're going to make you guys into the transhumanism. They always try to make it this fabulous, we're going to make you like titans. You'll be able to do anything, go anywhere, think of anything. You got AI in your brain. You don't have to use your own human capabilities, but they really want to hack your brain so they can control you.
Okay.
So you're right about that, Black Paradox. The government issued alerts and restrictions this week for Americans traveling to Mexico. Yes. Mm-hmm. Puerto Vallarta is having a lot of issues. The Gini coefficient continues to climb as the dollar weakens against the peso. The peso is strengthening. But again, we have an economic winter that people can feel coming, and it's a global economic winter. It is not something that's local to the United States. So people are getting desperate. They have travel warnings for Mexico, for Jamaica, for Puerto Rico, for places that have high Gini coefficients, because the people are no longer tolerating your ability to travel and live a great life. They're coming and they're physically harming.
They're physically harming tourists. And I can't remember, but if you can remember, in Puerto Rico, they have a term where they want the gringos to go home. Can you
Yeah, I
remember?
can't remember the term.
Yeah,
of
but
it.
it's a term where it's like
Like y'all go home. They feel
gringos
like
go
that in
home.
Mexico City, right?
Because they're saying
You're running the market rates up
there we
too
go.
when you come. So Puerto Vallarta, if you go to that city, you're getting a little break than you are in America, so you don't feel it as much. But if we went there, we would feel like we were right back in Florida somewhere. Like these prices are crazy.
But the people aren't treating you well.
And they're not welcoming you. They're like the tide is turning.
And that's why what the flag theory says, go where you're treated best. Pick out a spot that treats you best, then go there. No matter where it is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, you see a lot of places, I see a lot of places on YouTube. People they're going east. They're going to the Far East.
Malaysia and stuff like that, Kuala Lumpur.
Kuala Lumpur.
Now that shouldn't keep you from, but maybe avoid those specific places that the travel advisory warns you. There's more to Mexico.
What are you going there to do?
There's that too.
What are you going there to do?
If you're going on vacation, go to the Bahamas, go to a black country.
I'm saying though, you know, these people, these women are traveling single. Yeah. You got these passport.
Don't be pointing at me. I don't travel single.
These passport bros going over there getting set up. Women, get set up, man. Get set up for the wet up. And we came as a family, so we come in that regard. Like we're trying to have education and things, and
we're not in the touristy areas too, right? Because that makes you stick out.
Yeah.
If you do go to a touristy place, stay in the touristy place. Too. What y'all don't know is that a lot of Caucasians, I'm telling the truth, travel and go looking for drugs and stuff. And that's how they get in trouble. They're looking for drugs, they're looking for sex. So they're already dealing with nefarious characters and locations. Then when they get hit over the head, they want to cry victim.
Yeah, that is definitely.
And that's typically what's happening when you see the Gini coefficient, because a lot of times those people don't have access to you.
That's a lot of problem. And when she says drugs, it's not always, like cocaine or something. They might be just looking for something like Vicodin and trying to go to the pharmacy and get this stuff and that stuff.
But they're dealing with nefarious characters in order to get those things. Yeah. And that's how they get themselves in trouble. So when you start reading stuff, you start reading into you're like, okay, yeah, you did do something stupid.
So how you traveling?
And you making the block out.
How you traveling? I mean, I'm just saying as, travel with some protection as a woman.
Speaking of silver, did Bitcoin overtake silver by market cap? I thought it did.
It did and it didn't. It was back and forth.
Okay,
so it's right there. It's right there at that borderline. But yeah. So that's crazy. That's crazy because I'm a big silver fan, so I'm like, hey, it overtook silver.
We want to shout out the Colonel, Crazy Bronx Don.
Oh, Colonel, you on here? Come on, Colonel.
He just logged on, and we about to log off.
Come on, Colonel. I just called you, man. You ain't talked to me.
Cousin Ruel, how you doing, Cousin Ru?
What's up,
right, Content Cousin Ru, how you doing? Black Paradise said, tequila toast to you, Simon. For I am taking a shot of Mi Familia Flores Anejo Cristalino. That sounds good.
Oh, yeah. Come on, man.
We rico, Black Paradise. What are you drinking today? It's not Tequila Tuesday, but we're going to tell y'all anyway.
I'm still in Romero. Really good.
Viuda de Romero.
Still really good with spider on it. It's good for you.
It's good for you. The blue agave is good for you.
Keeps your blood sugar down.
And then the Crazy Bronx Don said, not sure what the head was. The old rotary phones. Thank you, Cousin Rue. I could not remember the name of the phone. Parts falling off the planes in mid-flight. Oh, that's bad. I don't know why they're not. Why aren't they maintaining their planes? Let Freedom Ring said, good points. Ledger, that's the key. Black Paradise said, that's right. Crazy Bronx Don said, I have superpowers. Not. Jamaica, Bahamas, yep. Black Paradise said that part, Simon, absolutely not sure. Stay away from the tourist areas. If you go to the tourist area, stay there, right? There's nothing wrong with that. It's when you leave the tourist area, you stick out like a tourist, and that's where you get in trouble. But if you're going on a sandals vacation, I don't know if they still have sandals vacations, stay there. If you're going to this big, beautiful resort, stay there. Don't try to go out, and that's the thing. Everybody wants to go out in the town and party with the locals, get some sex.
No. Yeah.
Yes, and that's how they're getting in trouble.
Yes, but during the day, you got to go see about the locals. Now at night, it changes.
Go
it
home.
changes, go home.
It's different.
She's
It's different
right,
people.
go home. But go out early, hit the market, talk to some people.
I'm saying stay there at this point. It's not
No,
worth
no, I'm
it.
saying, but because I say be amongst the people. But at night, it changes.
But a lot of times the travel advisory is because people are doing stupid things when they go, right? You can't take your marijuana with you when you fly. So when you get there, you want like, let me get some local weed, and it's like, no, right? There's a time and a place for everything. You know your dope boy where you live at in St. Louis, you stick with him.
St. Louis.
Right, but if you're traveling out of country, don't be trying to get in contact with people to see where you can. They're poisoning people. They're trying to kill. I'm gonna take you to this place. You're gonna get robbed.
Yeah,
That's
and
my mom.
like like you said, you go out, you hit the market, you go get some fish, some shrimp, whatever you're gonna get at the
Why
market,
they
some
not gonna
vegetable.
cook it? They're on
No, I'm saying
vacation.
during the day, this is how you be amongst the people.
Okay, I got you.
But
Yeah,
at night,
and go to the places they tell you to go.
yeah, at
Right,
night,
ask for
stay
the
home.
recommendations. But if you're traveling, don't travel by yourself. If you absolutely have to travel by yourself, you need to have an accountability partner in the United States that you check in at regular points and periods,
Yes.
especially if you are a woman, right? We got this thing where we're equal to men. Not when you're getting your ass beat in the street. You're not equal to men. They will take you, they will rape you, they will do stuff to you, right? Two, ladies, if you are traveling by yourself, you cannot be doing things that you're not in all of your faculties. Don't go out drinking with the locals. Don't do it, right? Because, like I said, they can spike your drink. As soon as you turn your back, they put something in your cooler, right? You always have to look at everybody like they are a monster. You have to look at them like that when you're traveling. You can't be drunk and slacking when you're out with complete strangers. And you need to check in with somebody at two different points during the day, every day, and don't miss that check-in time.
Yeah, and definitely because we seen two women while we were staying in San Juan, Puerto Rico. San Juan, Puerto Rico.
They was looking for drugs though. Let them tell the story.
They were looking for drugs, so two times.
I'll be right there.
A woman got, I don't know, she got assaulted.
One got assaulted, the other one got robbed.
Yeah, one got assaulted. So she was saying, and we talked to the police and said we didn't see what really happened. I didn't see it. And then another one, we were in a bar in the evening, and it's a white woman. Like, you don't look like you really should be here right now. And when we're not paying attention, somebody went upside her head and robbed her, took her purse and all that, and she bleeding. And people were asking, like, who did it? And everybody got the shrugged shoulders, like, I don't know. Because they're not going to tell on the locals about a white woman who got robbed.
No.
So go there with protection, right? I am my wife's protection. If I can't go, my 22-year-old son and my 16-year-old son, they will protect her. And it's not about, pushing people around and all that shit, but it's just standing there and just being like, stand back, stand back. That's all it really is. And we're not out in the night. We're just going to get groceries and stuff from the local. We're just doing local stuff.
Yeah.
And we don't go at night. If at night, it might be a tougher fight.
We're not out here looking for drugs.
Nah, we just
sex and all of that stuff.
Nah, man, I'm
get you into trouble.
You know what I'm looking for?
Tequila.
Well, I got tequila. I know where to get tequila. I'm looking for spinach. Little stuff like that.
Little stupid stuff. We're looking for cayenne pepper.
There we go. That's all I'm looking for. Like, really?
Right. Where can I get some bay leaves? So
Not
yeah.
Bay leaves. Where you get them at?
Set up for the weather. Cousin Rue laughed.
Yeah.
He said bars. I need this information. I gotta rewind, but I will. Oh, Jacoby 33. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us. That's the name I haven't seen before. The Colonel said, market cap, silver, Bitcoin, please explain. So, but it was temporarily, it overtook the market cap because it's doing a little dance.
Oh, okay. Who's asking that?
Colonel.
The Colonel. Oh, yes. So Colonel, is like she said, is doing a little dance, but
Bitcoin is doing a little dance because he came in late.
Yeah, but silver has a market cap. Gold has a market cap, Bitcoin has a market cap, and these things, but temporarily it took over silver's market cap.
But then it went back down.
But then it went back down. Remember when it went to 62?
Yeah.
So then it went
Damn.
back under their market cap. And so I have to pull it up right now to see if it's over silver's market cap, which is crazy. Andy Shackman is probably pulling his hair out. Shout out to Andy Shackman. That's the homie. But I don't know right now what the market cap is, but they're close. They're close. So the market cap is what would you say, 1.45?
We would have to look it up. You want me to look it up?
Yeah, let's go ahead and look it up.
All right, we're gonna look that up. Timadon is using a ledger right now. Any cold storage I should be using. Timadon, we have a young lady in the chat. Her name is Cripwork. She also comes in the chat sometimes as KW1. She is our subject matter expert when it comes to wallets. We have 2 shows. So I'm gonna say check out shows 121 and 122, featuring Cripwork, aka KW1, and she's telling you about the ledgers, the uses, huh?
I think it was a show in between though.
Yeah, but it's not that many shows back. Because Tamadon's new to this show.
Oh, okay.
So what did you say? Whose market cap that you want to look at first? Silver's market cap?
Silver market cap versus
market cap versus Bitcoin.
It's close.
Market cap. Yeah, my mother's looking for me, so she's calling like every phone in the house.
And you know, in that regard, Colonel, a lot of people who are Bitcoin maximalists, if they would say if you had silver, you should liquidate it and buy Bitcoin. That's what Bitcoin maximalists would say. I'm not a financial advisor.
So, Colonel, this is CoinDesk.com did a article on this 5 days ago. Bitcoin tops 68,000, nearing silver's $1.38 trillion market cap.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't send you the link to it right now.
But I believe it in 1.2.
So it's rapidly approaching silver nearly $1.4 trillion market capitalization.
Yeah, because on 3A, yeah, okay.
Okay, so hopefully that answers your question.
They're right there. It's right there.
Cousin Ruth said, just got so deep dish pizza. They said new style or deep dish, so you know I went deep dish. That's so funny. Them sound like bars to me. There's places. I won't go in DC and Baltimore if I don't know the locals. Jacoby 33. I inherited a lot and I'm alone in handling it all. Ooh, well, God bless you, Jacoby 33. What are some of the things that you're trying to figure out? You inherited a lot of fiat. Did you inherit a lot of
real estate?
Jacoby 33,
yeah, get with us.
We have our email is in the drop down. We don't charge for consultation or anything like that. We're not financial advisors. So let me make that clear.
We're smarter than financial advisors.
We're not financial advisors, but at least we can give you places, because I also had a significant inheritance from my father. And so we do have.
And we flipped it and we made it work.
He flipped it. I just
sat
in the passenger seat and looked pretty as he flipped it.
Yeah, email us.
Women really shouldn't travel alone. That's the truth. And y'all don't know that there's a huge market where white women travel to Black countries for sex.
They want mandingos.
And no, I'm serious, right? And in Africa, what they'll do is they'll at least marry the men and bring them back and give them good lives and stuff. But there's a huge underground market of Caucasian women looking for sex in Black markets.
Good sex.
I figured out what you meant, Black Paradox, so no worries there. The Colonel answered Timadon that he just tried Decent Wallet. It's great and very easy. So again, as content cousins, we want you guys to find ways to get in touch with each other when you are the subject matter expert, or you have an expertise, or you have an experience with something, so that you can help guide your content cousin on the right path. Mm-hmm. Oh, Rude, that was a shot at me. He said, I can't type to that. I want deep dish over New York style. I forgot we was having our pizza wars.
Thank you.
So y'all don't know, me and Rule, we have our little pizza wars, right? Me and my content cousin. right? Because Aaron all for the New York style pizza, and Rue is like,
Nah. Deep this all
I
the way.
thought you had some bars, cousin Rue. I ain't listening to you now. Boo.
I do too.
So Jacoby 33 said property, so it's real estate.
Okay. That's
He's
real.
also his profile pictures inside of a restaurant he also inherited.
Man.
Jacoby, let me be the first to tell you, I am not a fan of real property. I love that Bitcoin is my real estate in cyberspace, right? So I'm a little bit biased, but we can still talk and get you on the right road to, some ideas that you can think about. And it doesn't cost you anything. You just reach out to us. My email's there. We answer every single email. We can set up a FaceTime and talk and see if there's, just some things you can kind of do to not feel so overwhelmed. Also, we're going to tell you you should absolutely have an inventory on all of the property. Whatever you inherited, make an inventory list and its value. You don't have to share that with us. Please don't share that with anybody, including us, what the value and stuff is. That way you can have an idea on what you're working with and where, what visions you have for what you would like to do.
Right. Yes.
Ruth said, Simon, know what's up. Jacoby said most of the properties have artifacts. Underground is a lot. I'm gonna reach out ASAP. I pray that we can help you, right? I'm feeling overwhelmed with you, Jacoby. Right?
All right.
He done found a way around the Arctic wall in one of his properties. We can go see the beans there and stuff. But I do want to say one more thing.
There's long comments here
about Bitcoin. It's Black Paradox.
Oh, okay.
Trying to figure out how to switch Lido ETH back to ETH, but Ledger nor Trezor is making it easy. Cryptwork, are you still on, sweetie? Because she may know how to do that. Black Paradox, let me get you in touch with Cryptwork, aka KW1, to see if she knows about a ledger that can help you to easily do that. You will have to email me, Black Paradox, so I can put you in touch with about to call her by her name. With KW1.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Because she plays with all of the wallets, all of the ledgers. She knows what can do what, which one is easy to do, some of the things y'all want to do. So Black Paradox, get in touch with me so I can get you in touch with KW1 Cryptwork, and that way y'all can talk and you can tell her all of the things that you're trying to do and which ledgers will work best. The wallet ledger. See, that's what I'm not sure. Nicole, that's her thing. That's what she does.
Yeah.
The Colonel said Uphold requires facial photos with each Bitcoin and ETH withdrawals to wallets.
Really? Now?
As a security.
I haven't withdrawn anything.
Because there's so much hacking and stuff.
Yeah, they tripping, man. You can't do nothing, but that's a wallet. Well, I don't know, so we gotta.
I wanted to say one more thing about Bitcoin, and
it's your call.
Oh, this is what I wanted to say, because we were talking about, Courtney had got me on my path about God and Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
We live in a world full of lies, right? Just everything is a lie. We're always finding out we've been lied to about this, and NASA means lie, and this was a lie, and that was a lie, and they were lying about this, and these aren't the real you-know-who's, right? Just like Jesus said in Revelations, and so on and so forth. Even down to the money, right? When I told you that gold was the physical manifestation of wisdom, right? Which is the application of knowledge and information. That in itself needs to be a truth. What did the world figure out how to do? They figured out how to take that application of truth and turn it into a lie to keep the truth for themselves.
Okay.
Which is what they often do, right? So you have the printers. And when we talk about the printers, remember, the money's not backed by anything. And then all of the money of the world was backed to this money that had no backing, which made it all a lie. Think about what I'm saying now.
Spending it.
Right?
He's spending it.
The people who are closest to the printer get the most value from the money that's a lie.
So what are they called?
And then they're called cotillionaires.
Oh, man.
And then we, at the very end of that web of transactions, we get the least amount of it. That's why 87% of the purchasing power in it. Thank you for whoever tilted my crown earlier. I think it was Wall Street. Money's not worth anything by the time it gets into your hand, and you go and you have to work harder for this thing that isn't worth anything to get less of what you used to get before.
Dang, she going in. Go in.
Bitcoin, when we talk about the truth of it, from the way it's mined to the halving, the supply cannot be manipulated. Right? The 21 million is the 21 million. There's no Bitcoin cotillionaire. The truth in it, the transparency of the ledger, to have something so true in a world full of lies. Think about what I'm saying to you. So hold that, right? Put that on the side of your plate.
Oh boy.
Back in the day, you used to be able to trade your money and get a tangible item in return. Redbox, right? You go Redbox, you get your DVDs or whatever, and it went from you being able to keep the DVDs, Blu-rays, and all of that other stuff to you can rent them now. So you pay for it, but you don't own it. You got to give it back. You give it back. Blockbuster started that, right? Okay. Now it's Netflix. I just paid my Netflix bill yesterday. It was $17 and change. I don't know why. It used to be like $8.99. I don't know how I got to $17. My girlfriend's crying that Netflix is $26. You don't own shit. You just stream it. We used to have something called, we used to have Apple Music, Simon and I, because we have all Apple devices. We bought thousands of songs, but they were ours. And then it went away. And so did our songs. So you took our money, you took our tangible item that we paid for because Apple Music is no longer, right?
We still have what we got.
It's obsolete. So now I get to pay $10 a month for Spotify. We don't own any of that music.
This is true.
Now they want to give y'all the metaverse. First of all, the word meta has death in it. I'm not even want to. And verse means song. So death verse. Okay. I don't care if y'all love the metaverse. Y'all keep your emails to yourself. Understand they want to take you out of your tangible reality that you have control over and put you in a virtual reality that they have control over. And in this reality, they can immerse you in signs, symbols, and just almost now the reality that you pay for your reality. Right? You pay to be in it, you pay for it, you pay for the things around it, and they want to put you in a virtual reality, and they're going to figure out a way to monetize that. They have real estate in the metaverse that they claim, you can NFT it, you can do all these great things, but at the end of the day, you don't own shit with it. Okay. But I just want to show you this world of lies that you live in.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You have access to your Bitcoin. While it's digital, you can see the ledger, you can see the transactions, you can see the going and comings. There is a truth that comes with it, and that's why they hate it.
And we're going to do a show on that because she's got really deep dive on Bitcoin and
but I don't have no, links or nothing.
Oh, okay. She has a deep dive into Bitcoin and a higher level of
spirituality.
So yeah, let's go in these comments, man. Talk to our people. Our fam. What's up, family? We love you, family.
Black Paradox said that they didn't know that, Colonel. So thank you for the heads up. Colonel said, yep, it's the security measures. Cousin Ruth said 100% the printers get the most value of the money, right? The cotillionaires. Because they really create the lie, they get the most value from the lie that we just regurgitate to each other. BK Crypto said, preach. The ledger equals truth. You can't be cheated.
Yeah, exactly.
Same with books, right? Ruel, Kindle Unlimited. Like I pay $15 a month. I don't own none of those books. If something ever happened to it, the books that I buy or even just the ebooks, they'll go away somewhere.
Go away, yep.
Your renting information, the simulation. Timadon said, I watched Ready Player One. That was such a good movie, wasn't it? Demolition Man so many times, and they show exactly what's going to happen. That's right, Timadon. Y'all look up Revelation of the Method. That's what they use movies for, to tell you what they're going to do to you, how they're going to do it, how they're going to exploit you in a way to cleanse and or prevent their own karma. We know the Bible tells us they ain't going to be able to prevent or cleanse it.
Yeah.
Welcome to the decentralized world. Crip work, she's back. We can figure it out if we discuss, okay, so she's talking about how to get it going. But I'm gonna have Black Peridot get in touch with us, Crip Work, so I can put you in touch with them. That way I can just make sure it's okay to give away people's contact information. Y'all know what the older books have the most true information.
Yep.
Soon books with currency too got a snail mailing of a company buying books. They want you to own nothing and be happy, and that's what they want at the end of the day. They don't want you to own anything. They don't want you to have anything, and this is why there's such a hard push and aversion to Bitcoin, because they know that this is something of truth, and with truth comes freedom. The Lord said, and the truth shall set you free.
Yeah, and they can't do. You could own Bitcoin, right? And nobody really knows that you own it. Unless you tell people, nobody knows that you own it, and so that you can actually own something of value when they're saying we want you to own nothing and be happy. They could look at you and say, that's a person who owns nothing and they're happy, but they might own something.
They likely do. You can tell by their mindset that they do own things of value.
And what can they do about it?
Right. So, and the word of God also says, and he who is set free is free indeed. So, for Courtney, who was asking how I put the 2 and 2 together, that is why I put the 2, because I'm aware of the environment of lies. And then you have this big, bright gold truth pill, right? And there's only 21 million of them.
Yeah, gold pill, 21.
Right? And it just shows you the scarcity of truth in a world full of lies. It shows you the value of truth in a world full of lies. It shows you the freedom of truth. The Bible tells you, and the truth shall set you free. And he that is free indeed, right? It's the word of God. When you have that Bitcoin, you have that freedom. You're on your road to freedom. You're on the road to establishing your own economic climate. You're not letting this invisible entity at the top determine how you live and what your quality of life is going to look like. You have to take back your sovereignty, and I'm not talking Blackmore stuff, but you have to take back your sovereignty economically, spiritually, emotionally. I watch people get so upset with the narratives that are out here on social media, and I'm just like, you don't even have a dog in that fight. What are you getting upset about?
Yeah, you do see that.
Right? Don't let these outside things control your emotional health, your mental health, your intellectual health. So they want you to own nothing and be happy deep. So Timadon, I don't know if you're aware of that. The gentleman who coined that phrase, his name is Klaus Schwab.
Yeah.
And he's the president of the World Economic Forum, which you typically see as WEF. So that's the smart cities, that's the universal base income.
Yeah.
That is, they're trying to find a way where we as a people don't take their foot off of our neck.
Yeah. That's why you got to own your stuff.
And they keep trying to remix slavery, indentured servitude.
Exactly. See, they keep trying to remix it. And that's why silver and gold is good. Silver right now, because of the silver to gold ratio, you want to be grabbing silver right now. And but have some gold, have some,
Yes, if you have the capital for gold, I'd never discourage people who have the capital for gold to purchase it. It's also great for your physical and spiritual nature, to hold it, to handle it. Let your children hold it. Let your children handle it. I see a lot of times in our silver group, when babies are born, Caucasians will take that gold coin and put it right on the third eye of that brand new baby in the hospital, fresh out the womb, and bless that child in wealth. And you're like,
that's the start. We ready to get into
y'all done stole our stuff from us and you're using it, right? So you can have More than one. You don't just have to be Bitcoin. You don't just have to be precious metals. You don't just have to be XRP. It's what your portfolio is for you to have your own mini market of investments, right? You're supposed to be your own little ecosystem, your own economy, your own marketplace, your own kingdom, in a sense. Should I buy Bitcoin on an exchange or a brokerage? Thank you for joining Panthers are Kings
Well, I mean, we're not financial advisors, but I will say, most people will tell you not to keep your Bitcoin on an exchange.
Don't keep it on the exchange, right?
Right. So if you're just buying Bitcoin, I would buy it from a brokerage. As your question, you know, you can keep it on the exchange, get percentage from it, but
Yeah,
I
but
would
when the
say,
exchanges go down, they keep your stuff. They tell you never leave it on the exchange.
I would say buy it from a brokerage where you, right, where you own the what? How do you say it?
What, baby?
You own the 24 seed phrase. Is that right?
Oh, okay, your phrase.
Yeah. Make sure wherever you buy it, make sure you know that. Don't leave it on the brokerage, not right now.
Don't leave it on the exchange.
Did I say that wrong?
Yeah, you said don't leave it on the brokerage. Don't leave it on the exchange.
Don't leave it on the exchange. I'm sorry. I've been drinking tequila. It's Saturday. But yeah, no.
Exchanges have their utility if you got the money right now and you can't get in touch with the brokerage and all that other stuff, right? Go on and buy it from Cash App and then maybe move it over.
Well, no, because Cash App is very safe because Cash App is a wallet. And when you need to send Bitcoin from place to place, it's a wallet. So Cash App is a very safe place to buy it. We always recommend Swan Bitcoin. It's not a sponsor of ours.
No, but it's a great resource. It's a great tool for you to use. Did I say your name was Black Panther? It's Panther are Kings. Panthers are Kings. Yeah. So with Swan Bitcoin, definitely go ahead and Google them as soon as you get a chance. You can do it bi-monthly. You can do it monthly. I think you can do it weekly with them.
No, it's got to the point where you can do it daily. If you said you wanted $300 a month of Bitcoin, you could do it daily. It'll take $10 a day out of your account every day. Add up to 300.
And they have great customer service on Panther because we use them. Yeah. His name is Reed Womack. He answers your emails. Great response time. I'm gonna say I don't think I've ever waited longer than
he's the man.
A couple hours.
Reed's the man.
And Reed will get in touch with you if you have any issues. I know I have to put water in it, baby. My baby is basically trying to tell me like, Mom, it's my turn for your attention. So we're gonna have to wrap this up, and we're way over. It's 2 hours and 36 minutes. But definitely, Panthers are Kings. Swan Bitcoin is a great place for you to get started. We're not sponsored by them, but we use them. So we haven't had trouble. I think they're great, and their customer service is top notch. And I can't ask for more than that.
They got a nice Prime Trust wallet, and then you could just move it to your
Will
wallet.
45, thank you. Yep, the private keys. We both had like a brain glitch. Yeah. Time Don said, glad you said that. I usually buy from Cash App, then send to Co-op. We do the same thing.
Okay.
Because it's convenient. We're sitting there. The last thing I'm going to say before I let y'all go, always have a plan for unexpected money. Right? This is tax season. People expect it and still don't have a plan for it. But you want to live a life, I like to say, of miracles. You never know where a class action lawsuit, your name got put in there. You get, no, because I did. I got that from the little ABC mouse, right? It was a substantial amount of money. Apparently, they just was taking it and stuff like that. I didn't have any problems with them, but I did get the unexpected refund. Sometimes you get refunds, this and that. You know, you just never know where the unexpected funds come from. Always have a plan for expected and unexpected money. Because typically when funds are unexpected, people subconsciously, and I'm not saying this is you, but I'm saying people subconsciously don't want the responsibility of the money, so they start spending it, right? They're trying to get rid of it so that they don't have to be responsible to it. It is a psychological
yes, indeed.
response.
That's
to
big.
unexpected funds, right? So that's something we need to talk ourselves out of as well. Always have a plan. Say, if anything happens, I don't care how much money it is, this is a plan for it. So that when the unexpected funds do fall in your lap,
Yeah.
right, they're properly placed.
And so we had a great show, man. We really appreciate everybody in the chat room. Thank you for being involved with us. We really appreciate the live viewers. Thank you for being involved with us. This is a great show. I don't know. I learned a lot. I learned a lot from
Thank
y'all.
y'all for letting me preach the word. You know, the
She
Holy
preached the
One,
word
he's
a little
very,
bit.
very special to
What
me.
we got here?
And I be wanting to share him, and I
couple
kind of
more,
sort of don't
right?
know how, but this is the time, y'all, where we're coming to the end.
Uh,
If you have not given your life over to the Most Holy One and you need help, it's always confidential. Email me, right? I do Bible study. I study all this stuff, y'all. Geographically, culturally, the etymology of it. I listen to a lot of the greats like Chuck Messler and some other people. But if you want to turn your life over to God, and this is the time to do it, if you want to get back into the swing of things, whatever it is that you know the Holy One is leading your heart to do, if you just need to know where you can start, you can always start with your family, right? As the first family of Bitcoin, we're
yeah.
also the first family of the Most Holy One. We will always, always, as for me and my house, we will serve Him.
Yeah, we are fam. So let's
Just
read
call
this.
us and we can help
Let's
you.
read these again.
All
We
right,
gonna
now
get
we're
on
gonna
up
get up
out.
out of here. I'm just gonna read the last of your comments. Let Freedom Reign said this was a great show. Keep
Oh,
up the
thank
good
you.
work. We are the best. BK Crypto said we had a live today on Stacks about our people in Bitcoin. Great work.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
Good job. Yeah, that's
Black
what's up.
Peridot asks if we're aware of Trade Station's platform. I am not, Black
I am
Peridot.
not. No.
BK Crypto, y'all support your cousin BK Crypto and buy some of his swag. Cousin Rue said, great show, content cousins. Appreciate y'all. Y'all check out Ruel's show, check out Stack Show, check out Trek with 2Ks, aka PFC Wells. And let's start the, behavior of supporting one another in all that we do.
What's that last comment?
That's it. Great show, content cousins. That was Rue, cousin Rue.
Great show.
All right, we love
All
y'all.
right, you see, it's getting dark, and I
Yeah.
lost my son.
Bye, y'all.